Oh, then session 7. Okay.
And it's under D&D.
Okay. So
Food
we're gonna have a roll off. Evens or odds?
Let's do food roll off
as well.
Well,
Wait,
yeah,
we
we'll
should
do that.
we should explain what that is before we do it.
Oh, so.
But do you want to do?
We should also
We can do food first.
odds are high when you roll.
Let's just do
Odds
both.
are high. No, not at the same time, bro.
Why? You
Different dice.
Just roll the D100. Whoever gets the lowest.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Highest gets food, lowest gets recap.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
I'm into it.
All
I'm
right.
into it.
Okay.
And that will make me have to participate as well.
I got an 11.
22.
32.
84.
21. Higher than 11.
I got 20. 91.
Okay, so you
Which
get
is-
to roll for food.
Good, because you
Yay.
couldn't have recapped.
So who got the 11?
Sarah.
All right,
you
Sarah,
have
do
to
you
roll-
remember
I'm
what?
not
have
going
to
to
roll
use my
again
inspiration this time.
Yeah, both of us.
So this is going to be from the perspective of Arvindr
84.
because I don't remember what everything happened.
Arvindr did good stuff last
I
episode.
know, I felt like I did a lot last week.
No, that's why everybody
So-
got inspiration because all of you role played really well, and I appreciate
Last
it.
week,
Daddy DM is proud of us.
we
Daddy loves his children.
were in the Dwarven market,
Roll again.
and then...
Did we do that one already?
Small hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
53.
Jewish.
Jewish.
Where's Dworkin? Gefilte fish.
I do not want.
We'll
I
just
do
do
not
the
like
following
gefilte
recipes.
fish.
Oh.
But
Oh, you can make the
bread.
The potato
Challah.
or the. We found a
Challah.
recipe for
Oh, yeah.
green onion pancake challah.
Oh, yum. Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, let's get Dworkin's matzo soup recipe.
That
That
Yeah,
was really
that was
good.
delicious.
Yes.
I've never had it.
I think it was just off the back of the box, so we just have to figure out what box it was
What
on.
box did they?
Whatever box of
Also,
Mock
he
was.
made really good brisket, so let's just invite him and have him cook for
He
us.
would
I like
probably
that.
do
Okay.
it. He'd
Yes.
probably do it.
He's probably
So
watching.
Sarah,
Okay,
Don't say anything
so
bad.
I'm gonna go get food.
at some point last week, we were in the Dwarven market, and
Why'd you go to the Dwarven market though?
unsure, but we were there.
It was because the beholders that you guys.
Steve
Made a
told
deal
us
with.
to.
Steve.
But that wasn't last week, that was 2 weeks ago. Last
I
week we
know, but-
started in the market.
I know,
so
but
the
Kat
reason
didn't
we were
see,
there
I'm
doesn't
just
matter.
trying to be nice.
Here's Steve.
That's Steve.
Everyone likes Steve. Steve is the
Fiona
best.
also
No.
likes Steve. Fiona likes he's trying to
Yizik
eat
likes
his
Steve.
eyes.
Yizik like Steve. Arvindr and Kimber were
Not
like
fan of
ready to
Steve.
go
Murder
ahead and
Steve.
just murder him. Yeah.
Okay, so something about the beholders sent us down. We were walking down into the Undercity. So the first thing we did was went through this upper section and name got conned by the paper seller guy.
Oh yeah, the lab.
And
Leonora.
then we continued walking down the hill. And then all of a sudden we hear. Did we hear about the crown out loud? Because I must have heard it because I have a whole bunch of stuff written down about it.
Oh yeah, that was Yizik. That went
Yizik
crazy.
said Yizik
Yizik went crazy.
has a necklace and went sprinting off into the dark.
A snake bank.
Snake
Because
bank.
the snake bank that he wears around his neck kept talking about a crown.
And then
Yeah, man.
it took him over.
But
You don't
we
know
don't
that.
know that. We just know that Yizik decided to go running into the dark, so then we all chased him, and I tried to tackle him, and it didn't quite work. And because I think we tied on the grapple check. And Lady Peregrine and I almost got him, but we didn't. So then he ran into the dark. And then we spent a long time talking about why or how and how we felt about it.
Mm-hmm. And whether we should care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't really like Yizik, but he's still kind of one of us, so like...
I was good with Yizik.
Did it count that we did Chinese?
Kimber was good.
Chinese
Yeah,
New
we
Year.
should count that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What date?
When was Chinese New Year? So, we talked for a long time, and it turns out that there's a dwarven legend that associates the crowned serpent. And so Arvindr spent a long time being very conflicted about this, but he hasn't shared this with the rest of the party, so that doesn't need to go in the recap. But he and Lady Peregrine had a long conversation about this legend and what does it mean and should we feel guilty. And then we rejoined the party and pretty much immediately after heard a commotion in the streets. At which point we found a giant mushroom-looking dude in a hat and a scarf getting attacked by a pack of dogs and a woman who turned out to be a gorgon. And then we fought them. And then it got way too late, and so we wrapped the battle up pretty quickly.
Where
Yep.
and Bub stole the Gorgon's ability.
Oh,
true.
that's right.
Yeah.
You can turn people into stone now.
Yeah.
It's still weird that you get to
Petrifying
fight when you're not
gaze.
here, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Bub got turned into stone.
You
And
did do
then-
that also.
Yeah. And then.
So, in dire need of a long
Went
rest
free.
because I've got 1 rage left and you've got like 8 health left and you need some more spell slots because Will keeps using yours.
Combo right.
We are continuing down into the. We are continuing down, but now we have Stool
I
with
was
us.
gonna say I could make Lumen's tiny hut.
I think that might not be a terrible idea because
Give us a protected area to rest for. It lasts 8 hours. So.
my recap was not as inspired as yours are. We think you should
But it
just
was
be.
pretty detailed, I think.
Leonora and Music also went to the Apple store.
Oh yeah, I
Sure.
forgot about that.
And there were a bunch of.
Oh yeah, the war buildings.
Yeah,
We did
like.
go in
Yeah.
them.
The
War
And we
artificer.
met
Mage.
Bartholomew!
The artificer.
Oh, the snake.
Oh,
driving
the
the car.
awakened
this-
snake.
Oh, he was the best part.
Bartholomew was the best part. Yeah.
He was a used textbook seller.
He was. He was a textbook
Oh,
salesman.
he was how we got
Price
down from the
used
top.
textbook seller.
He was how we got from the top deep
Yeah,
into the
he
middle
gave us
deep.
a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
And
we hope to meet
he
him again.
told
He
us.
used to be a snake, and now he's awake.
And the other thing.
And he has an elven
you would
wife.
know that more
Yeah.
was
And he whips
I
his
think.
horse with his tail very gently, but it's
Yes.
okay because his
Like,
horse isn't
If
awake.
these ones found you,
And he has a very Texan accent.
more would be
Yeah.
coming. They don't want anybody from where you're from up here.
Do I think they can help me?
Yes.
Um,
They did. They just helped you.
what else? We found out
They were
that apparently the
You almost
first
died, that's
flame has these like shadow guards who
We don't
are
have
supposed to
to-
be protecting the city.
But there's
And
only
so
30 of them.
no one ever worries about anything happening, but according to Jerusha, there aren't very many of them and they don't actually really do anything.
They
just-
do.
They threaten to do things and it keeps people in line. But I keep
It's-
seeing weird shit on top of buildings.
It's like KGB. Like, KGB isn't as powerful as KGB says it is, but like, everybody thinks
Really?
KGB
You're
is
saying
real
that
powerful.
on stream?
Ooh.
They're coming for you.
He
No,
didn't
that's-
read it.
Nope. Not,
It's not my Twitch account.
It's a bold
Stream
statement
goes
there.
down.
not like to me. I heard an email.
But like, so
They're
basically,
logged in.
the rulers of the city use them as like, it's like more like a display of power, and they do enough stuff around. So like when they go on patrol, they like actually stop crimes and stuff, and they do it in a dramatic enough way, often enough that like
Someone
uh,
shady.
it like scares people into not doing it.
Someone shady is stalking us on top of buildings. And I'm
Insane.
the only one who ever sees it, except
feel
for you
like,
sometimes.
I think, yeah, I've seen it, but
Oh, yeah. Stool accidentally hurt a dog.
Yeah,
Creature
with
thing.
the pine cones.
He
So-
turned it into a pine tree
So then he healed the dog. And
in the
hug-
middle of the fight at 11:30 at
He
night.
just hugged the dog the whole time.
It's true. It screamed. Yeah. So we'll just pick up right where we left off. You guys have just killed this Gorgon. You've seen Bub use his magic to steal her petrifying gaze from her. He now has the look of
Oh.
a Gorgon.
Do we explain how he stole it?
Oh yeah, no, one of his
one of my,
yeah.
This.
Oh yeah, he
Uh,
grabbed her ass.
He did not.
Totally
Yes,
goosed
he
her.
did.
Yeah, no,
You went up and just.
It's
He
on.
did this.
It's
He
on.
scratched her fucking neck.
There
Wasn't
are
he
like
squeezing?
8 of us on stream going like this from last week, so
You
I'm
did like
pretty
this.
sure.
Between your legs, and you're like,
No,
woo!
and
It was a
we
full-
decided that you
full
also
goose.
now have her nice ass. I mean,
I'll take
it
it.
might have been
Yeah.
great before, but
For an hour, you have this beautiful ass and also the ability to turn people to stone with your eyes.
yeah.
But
so much power.
And your eyes, your eyes are like
It just went on the
pure
stream.
black. No, they look like her eyes. They're like completely alien. You look terrifying.
I'm into it.
I figured you would be. So yeah, so we're gonna pick up right where we left off. Stool, this enormous mushroom man. How tall are you? 10 feet?
9.
Oh, come on. I like
10.
you tall. I like you big.
Oh.
He's a big boy. And he's very soft. He's like, that's the way I picture it. He's like, your skin is like very like squishy, like a normal mushroom.
Are you spongy?
Flowy.
He's soft boy.
It's
He's
Flowy.
Totoro.
Flowy hair.
Yeah, like little like follicles.
Frills.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Are you
And
like
his gills like wave gently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe he's
beautiful.
like somewhere between Totoro and No Face.
Aw.
Like, you know the cricket commercials to like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that like that.
Mm.
Oh, the hair.
Yeah.
That's the hair.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's horrible.
Are we picturing the yellow blob with the fuzz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the green. The green one has the hair?
Whichever one has the good
Yeah.
hair.
The
The
good.
good hair. So yeah, so you guys have just finished off this Gorgon. Her moss dogs ran away, and now this mushroom creature is standing in front of
I was
you.
in the corner, scared.
That's right, and almost dead. You have 1 hit point, right?
No, I healed myself in the dot. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So
Okay. What are you up to now?
23. I think I did another healing too.
Okay. So you probably look pretty injured though.
Did you heal?
Oh no, I did mass healing. So that was pretty.
No.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
because I'm
healed
back.
anyone
I'm back
yet.
up to 61.
Yeah,
I
you
think I was
healed
down
me
to
too.
20 or something.
Yeah, I healed you and
It was he did mass cure wounds, so it was pretty big.
yeah.
So yeah, so you guys are all like looking at this thing. Have you added them to your group chat? Rapport spores?
Yeah, we
yet?
started talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're
there
going
was
to
a
talk
bit
about
of
something outside
dialogue.
of game and we never talked about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
What was it?
Just general.
Does your group chat like? You can. Is it?
I can kick people out whenever.
But
We
like,
can
can we hear each other, or we can only hear you and you can hear everyone?
He's a node.
Okay.
So
That
like
links us
when all you
together.
guys are within
Got it,
like 30
okay.
But it
feet.
has to be intentional.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we don't have to listen to Kimber reading in her head. Unless.
Because I was definitely doing that.
Actually, no, I think you do have to.
Were
'cause
you doing
Reading
dramatic
the phone book?
pieces?
I'm sure you
Probably.
would broadcast that. I feel
Oh yeah,
like.
no, of course.
I wrote about at volume too.
So we have like constant Kimber
romance
reading
in the
romance
background,
novels.
reading a romance.
There's
novel.
nothing weird and sexual about this D&D campaign.
No. I don't know why you would think that.
Nothing.
Just in case, I'll cast heal on myself.
Okay. Okay.
My level 6 heal.
Why?
Wait, share some with me.
Nope. I just gained 70 HP.
Sure,
God.
you can do that.
What's your HP max? Like 80 something, right?
79. Heal. Woo!
Well, you were perky.
Popped up?
Probably
Wow.
more like a.
It's like an insulin. Like,
Yeah.
You
I
look
mean,
a
if-
lot better.
Did you really just use your level 6 spell slot to
Yeah.
do that?
If anybody wants to stand next to me or within a 30-foot radius of me, I can cast Aura of Vitality. And you
Perfect.
can gain 2d6 hit points.
Me.
I think we all need to do that.
Yeah.
we can all like stack on top
Not
of you
Stool.
or something.
Just
Yeah.
Stool's good.
Wait, what are you doing?
Do you
I'm casting Aura of Vitality to give
Oh.
2d6
do
hit
you
points
do
to
that?
everybody.
Or do you roll
I
the
rolled
2 or
7.
do we roll the 2?
He rolls it.
He rolls
I
it,
roll it?
and then everyone gets that.
Oh.
Roll it.
2d6. Okay.
Oh, I stayed
Oh.
1.
3!
Thank you.
Are you joking?
No.
I got
We got a 2
3.
and a 1.
Is that a level 3 spell?
Yeah.
For a 2 and a 1.
How long does it last? I think it lasts a couple minutes.
Oh
Is
yeah.
it one action? It's concentration, I thought. Like every
It's
time.
a concentration up to a minute.
Okay.
So we gain 3 hit points
So-
for a minute.
I know it.
So
Concentration up to a minute.
no.
Did you
So
roll the dice?
every
Wait,
so
for the
roll
It's
roll
one action, so I could do it.
roll.
Wait, does it go away?
Wait, is it everything within your aura, or
It's
is like
a-
one creature?
Oh, one creature within
Yeah.
my aura.
Oh.
But
Okay.
it's one action.
So you can. I'll let you do this. You can roll
But it's
2d6 10 times and distribute those hit points each time,
Okay.
however you want. To
Okay.
I feel
each
like
one of you.
Leonora needs all of them.
Oh, that's better. 7, so that's 10.
No.
Or,
so
oh,
so
oh,
like
so like
point
We've got
while you're doing
going
it.
3,
around, okay.
7.
Okay, so 3,
I'm good.
7,
I'm actually
3.
kind of okay at
I'm gonna do these other dice. Let's see if this works better.
Med 95.
3, 6.
That's not so bad.
What's it?
8.
That's good.
9. I'm getting better at this. It's like my stripping.
Oh,
goes.
he is. Actually,
9.
what number is that?
8.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
Nice!
12.
Finally.
And last one. Finish it with a 3.
Finish out strong. Alright, so.
Okay, so Leonora, what's your hit point max?
68.
Okay.
How much do you have?
8.
Oh,
beat
those
up.
moss dogs fucked you up.
You could heal Leonora back up to almost full.
I'm gonna heal her some.
You're gonna heal her some?
Stool's gonna walk up to Leonora
I'm like sitting on the floor because I'm really tired.
and just.
Dad, you yelled at me about like not hitting it, and now you.
I yelled at you for not stabbing yourself, and just hug and level 3 healing word.
I feel
Healing.
so comforted.
Not cure wounds.
Oh, cure wounds. Yeah, I was thinking there was.
I was about to say. Healing word. That's only like what 3d4.
Also, that's kind of hard to do when you can't talk.
He can. So
I can
his
cast that.
his verbal components to spells are they're like. He has to whistle and click.
14, 16 HP.
Oh, thanks.
Just.
Who needs?
I got you
What's
that.
what's everybody?
And
What
now
was
I'm
the
like in
what
love
was the
with
total?
this
63.
super cute, like
Yeah, you can just distribute how you want.
squishy
You don't have to do it
kind
one by
mushroom
one.
person.
That's fine. I mean, like you're using a 3rd level spell slot,
Yeah.
and you've got 63
I'll
hit points to distribute.
Pop in.
Okay.
Your
I mean, I'm at 95
I mean,
Pop you
out
in
of
group
1.6.
chat.
Admittedly, also you had to stand there for like a minute and be like,
Yeah, I'm just kind of letting my
for
aura
saving me
soak into
against
everyone.
I'm at 75.
that creature.
Out of how many?
88. He's good.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm fine.
hunting me.
Well, thank you for healing me. we're glad to make.
I feel like you need to have your hands up to make sure that you're talking telepathically. Mainly
If I had an echo filter on there, I would put echoes every time anybody speaks telepathically.
Just because this is funny and it
Sure.
makes it seem like you're more in character.
I didn't add any from Jonathan, so 24 with rats. Because I don't know how Jonathan's working on
My
this.
walking speed's only 20, so I'm a little slower than you guys.
That sucks.
He takes ponderous steps. He takes like 4
4
steps every 20 feet because his stride's real long, but it's very slow.
What's your max? Oh, okay. So if she takes those 3, she's full.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Right.
Alright, you're back up
Oh
to
well,
full.
so
then,
you're
I
at
guess.
66.
Or 66. Okay,
Oh.
Leonora's at 66 now.
Thanks, friend.
Also, I mean, you
Do you
if you wanted to
have
take a short
place
rest here,
to
you could
sleep?
have, but
I'm sleepy.
spend those spell slots.
It's all
Spend
good.
them.
I got plenty.
We don't.
That's
so you
true.
have
Do you
Everybody
have
does.
a place we can
You
sleep?
just have so many
Jonathan has a
spells
hut.
now.
He
We're
can
just
I do have the hut that I
traveling.
could make too.
I'm
Because, I mean, rage doesn't come back on until long rest.
Long
So
rest.
that was
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
familiar with this area.
Do we want to just do a long rest?
Sure. But then you were just wasted your spell.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
I
Like,
can
if
get
I
that.
get
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I cast it.
Yeah. In that case,
Are we just like we're like in the middle of
Yep,
a slum?
yep.
yeah.
Yeah, should we
In the middle of
find-
an alleyway, and
Well, is it a side alleyway or a main alleyway?
so it looks to you like,
Because the main thoroughfare.
and I feel like I said this last time,
It's
so
at
I'll
least
just
at the
tell you
end
again.
of.
It's like a trappy
Yeah, so like
dead end.
it's basically like this place where all the alleyways leading out of this alleyway are so small that Stool couldn't have passed through them.
It might have.
Shut up.
You did this, bro.
We might have been able to squeeze him through.
If he'd pushed real hard.
Push real hard.
Sometimes you just
You
doesn't
just gotta be
come out.
careful you don't
Some-
pop a
if
blood
you-
vessel.
Get some mineral oil in there.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, so it looks like the Gorgon like
Oh
And Stool, you could confirm this. The Gorgon and the Moss Dog sort of chased you through the city and like cornered you in here, basically.
Shut up.
You guys are ruining this tableau that I've created for you.
It's beautiful. Brad just decided to name his character after poop.
That's true.
It's those one of the recommended names, okay? For mushroom people.
Sure.
Oh my god.
It was. I was also that was on the list.
It's like Toadstool.
No, just Stool.
I know, but it's like Toadstool, not like shit.
I know, but it's the same.
You
Anyway,
don't know that. I picked it.
fine, it's poop. Whatever.
I mean,
Anyway,
You should
so
give him the cantrip.
fungi are good decomposers.
That is true.
there's like
That
he's
is
like
absolutely true.
his whole thing is that.
What do you eat?
Reproducing. Mushrooms.
That's fair.
So you're a cannibal mushroom.
That's what I said.
And I think you photosynthesize, dude.
Cat agrees, definitely poo.
Anyway, so if you guys long rest here,
In the tiny hut.
I mean,
Cast it. Yeah.
okay.
Why not? Let's do it.
I mean, you could, but also,
We could also walk away a little bit to a different alleyway.
I guess.
theoretically,
Can
yeah.
Stool fit?
Stool could fit in the tiny hut. It
Yeah.
would be uncomfortable for everybody else, but
And yet 9 creatures of medium size or smaller.
he's technically medium, but he's very big. He's
Yeah.
a big medium.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there's
what
not
it
9 of us. There's only 6 of us.
is. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. But no, do what you want.
Can someone just take the tiny hut? Is it like the actual?
No, I think it's like a doorway
10
to
foot, It's a 10-foot radius, a mobile dome springs in, but then it's large enough to be able to inside.
Can
It's bigger inside.
Can
than
people get in?
Mhm.
Like
Only us. Only people that I designate.
oh,
unless they dispel the spell.
Have to have a
like a
secret
yurt.
password.
Yurt, basically. Yeah.
It's a yurt.
Can the people who don't know about the spell dispel the spell if they don't know?
Spells
the
and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it.
can we put a blanket?
But you
over
can
the
dispel
dome?
the dome itself.
Can you make things grow on it to disguise it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you make a structure, but like,
Is
I mean,
there an abandoned house nearby?
Can I do minor illusion?
I would like to
Doesn't say
roll
anything
perception
about-
to find, or
well, like dispel
investigation.
magic is a spell. It's like it
Yeah, I have it.
yeah. So like dispel magic could be cast on the dome, and it would dispel the spell.
With the dome as a target. So like we can't be
It's a
targeted
magic effect.
through the
Yeah.
dome.
But then like somebody could dispel the dome itself and then target you. What I'm trying to get at is like
What Will is saying is we should not take a long rest here.
Apparently
because
you may not want to.
Don't
I
look
guess
at
we
me.
keep
Why are you
going.
looking at me?
Like an Airbnb.
Like yes, there's an Airbnb just right around the corner.
Oh.
You find it on your ascending stone. It's got a 4 out of 5 rating.
Super host.
Kaylin is the host.
Let's go there.
Yeah, no, I would say that if you make a perception check
20. Oh, perception.
or investigation, and whatever's higher.
23.
No, well, Lady Peregrine specifically was looking around for an empty house.
23 for an abandoned house.
That one's all boarded up. I mean, it's like dilapidated, but like, and you probably would think there's holes in the roof, but like, you could bust one of the boards off the door and probably get through.
I do that. If you point it out that it's empty, I'll pry the door off.
You don't know that it's empty,
the
you know
window
that it's
off.
boarded up.
I'm looking for an abandoned house.
They all look abandoned. Like, there's a few that like where you guys saw like people stick their heads out of the windows when he was whistling, and you know that those aren't abandoned. But like all the ones, you guys have gone deep now, so like all of these look like they're abandoned. You don't hear any movement inside of them, but like you
But you
can't
wouldn't know
know.
unless you,
Yeah,
like,
you
went
can't
in.
know for sure that like there's like not a squatter or something in there.
Norv!
I would, if it were me, I would prefer somewhere a little bit further away from this exact spot.
The
If
Gorgon's dead body is like right
there's-
here,
If there's people like,
and like 3 or 4 moss dogs bleeding out.
well, so I guess
So let's
Stool,
go
like,
first.
what's up? Who are these people?
Why were they after you?
Wait,
in
you
our,
have to.
in our, who are these people? Why are they after you?
They capture my kind and use us as slaves.
So we probably should at least go a little further away from here if we want to rest.
Many, yes, others probably know I am here.
How do they track you?
I do
Can
not
they?
know. I am not the most stealthiest.
Does Stool like smell like mushrooms?
Does the stool smell?
Yeah, I mean, Stool smells like.
Compost.
Yeah, he's like a plant. He's
Okay.
mushroom, so yeah.
Just kind of like dank.
Yeah.
Dang.
You want one?
I was trying to figure out a good squatter stool joke. Couldn't figure out the right one. I came up here to find help. My kind is in danger.
Where do you live? Not in a creepy way.
Not in a creepy way.
Deep under the city.
We might be going there anyway.
Stool, I don't even know that you would know that there's a city. You live so deep, I don't even think that you
But
necessarily...
I'm in a city right now.
That's... Okay, fair. Yeah, like, you mean like under this part of
yeah.
the city. You probably don't even know that there's something up above it.
He thinks this is the city. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the biggest town you've ever been to.
I kept going up and up looking for help. And I found all these weird buildings here. And then I was chased by those friendly dogs. They were just misunderstood.
How long have you been up here?
Well, how long have I been up here?
Probably like...
8 years.
No.
I haven't seen anybody.
The dogs are very
100 years
slow.
passed before my brother and I discovered the new avatar, an airbender named Stool. No, he's probably been up here for like a couple of days at
A
most.
couple of days.
He's
at
not
most.
sure because he doesn't know what the sun is.
I'm not sure.
You can go keep track of time with.
Yeah, I mean, so like he'd say probably like, I don't know, whatever the unit of time is that mushrooms who don't have like a diurnal cycle.
So we have absolutely no idea what length of time you've been here for.
I'm telling you, this
I've
is the
been here
DM metagaming
for-
for you. It's been like a couple of days,
10
max.
Spores.
10 spore cycles.
10 spore cycles.
Those are very quick cycles.
Yeah.
Each one is 2 hours long.
I have a question
4 hours ago.
For
If,
who?
for the DM. For Daddy DM.
For Daddy. Ask your question to Daddy.
Daddy's dead.
If
Someone killed him.
We should have one person's player be DM and the other one be Will.
What?
Character name, so it just complicated.
we're very good at
I'm
complicating
gonna have to figure out how to get rid of 2 more characters now.
things.
It took me a long time to figure out how to get rid of
So
Yizu.
it's so
Hard to pass on.
Stool said that he's not very good at like stealthing and such.
Brad's making
more
poop jokes, and he thinks that it's the funniest fucking shit that has ever come out of his mouth.
You're the one making the jokes.
Anyway.
Are you gonna try and make him more stealthy?
If I climb on top of him,
Mounted combat.
Mounted combat!
just like while we're
I
traveling.
know what you're about to try and do, and I'm not sure how I feel
What?
about it.
What am I gonna do?
You're gonna use your cosmic shroud shit to like try
make him
and
more
make.
stealthy.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Just while we're traveling.
Make an Arcana check.
Are you flying or are you not flying?
16.
Yeah, that'll work.
Not at the moment.
Like
You can-
it's supposed to do more than just
Yeah, I know.
increase
So
stealth checks,
you
but
can
like
you with a 16,
fire.
you figure that you could like widen the use of your shroud by.
so I don't have to sit on it.
Nah, you can walk very close to him.
Okay.
You can sit on him if you want.
You can hold his
That's up to
hand.
him.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
the bag of mushrooms Don't reach in there.
I'm not gonna.
Don't put your hand in that bag. No, so I say that if you spend an extra dust, then you can widen your shroud and make it cover him, and like he'll get better. He will make less noise and not smell as much. And you guys will be able to travel a little bit more stealthily if that's what you're gonna try and do.
Wait, is this canon? If I like spend one additional stardust from here on out, can I make my shroud and blah blah blah?
Cover an additional.
I think that
Yes.
it's gonna depend on the scenario.
Okay.
And
But in like low stakes travel.
yeah,
scenarios.
like it's not gonna be like the sort of thing where you're gonna be able to like sneak into like
So in
a well-guarded
in
place.
a low light, low key setting.
yeah. This is you are using you're expending your like space dust magic to literally like dampen like his scent, dampen his footsteps, and like because he like makes loud noises when he walks, and like make him feel a little and make him like just a little bit less like
Suspicious.
sticky outy. Yeah,
Unless I go on my
suspicious.
tippy toes.
Yeah. You don't have toes. I
He has
would do
claws.
not believe that the picture that you showed all of us has toes or fingers.
Have
You
you
have
ever-
little like nubbins for hands and feet.
Have you
They're
ever
little
watched
mittens.
Fantasia?
Yes.
They have like feet.
What do you mean? Like the mushrooms in
Right.
Fantasia? They have like, but no toes though. They have
Right,
feet but no
right,
toes.
right, right.
Can you
Fantasia.
imagine if a fucking mushroom, if he has toes, they're like elephant toes. Or like
Yeah.
little, it's a stick with a
Elephants walk on
toenail.
their toes.
Just one toe. His feet is just one toe. One giant toenail.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. It's
That's
disgusting.
horrible.
No, it's not.
X-rays of horse feet are so weird.
Oh, we've got actual videos of the
You-
dissections if you ever watch
Oh, I
them.
don't want to see a dissection of a horse. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Horses are good people. They're good people.
That's a good one.
Anyway.
Muffin.
What are you doing?
I just asked if she wanted the muffin.
Oh, okay.
Can you put
There's
this away
also
if you
pie
want?
when people want pie.
Okay.
We could also toast the top of the meringue. It'll be less purple, but toasty.
My eyes are purple. I think
They are. It's true.
they're violet.
Well,
And they
technically
reflect
they're
blue at
cloudy
night.
right
Right now they're black.
Oh yeah, they're horrible.
They're
They're
like
terrifyingly
Lucifer.
horrible.
You can't see it because it's low light.
It's true.
now. Bob,
Um,
something's happened to your eyes.
I think all of you saw it. Okay, but no. So yeah. Are you guys gonna go try and find a place to long rest? Is that what's happening right now?
They do walk on their toes.
Wait, what'd you
Horses?
say?
You didn't know that?
Elephants.
Elephants.
Oh, yeah.
The empty.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I feel like we
toenails.
should go somewhere slightly
Farther
further
away.
away from the dead
And
body
huge
of the
fat
person that we've just
Did,
killed.
did you guys loot it?
Nope.
Yeah, Leonora did.
She did, I thought.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone,
I think I might have.
maybe
Something
Arvindr
like
did.
that.
Somebody looted her body.
Yeah.
No.
While the rest of us were talking to Stool.
Oh,
was
I
too
missed that.
tired.
What'd
I
you
did not.
find? Did I say anything?
No.
I don't. If you, I maybe just didn't hear you say that or something. She's wearing what looks to be a very fine dress,
I don't need that.
and
Is it bloody? Is it goop?
yeah, I mean,
Big
you,
is it?
Wait.
if you'll remember, the way she died, I'm pretty sure was you throwing a dagger and it hitting her in the heart.
I thought I didn't.
Nice. Good aiming.
Wait, so does she not have a butt since you took that?
That's true.
Where is her stool?
That's true. It probably
You took
would.
the
Wait,
site.
so are you
I
saying she's
didn't realize.
blameless?
She didn't. Her eyes did. She just lost the magical ability. She didn't lose her like
Is she like
actual eyes.
Hank Hill now?
What?
No, but she also have a narrow urethra.
Ah,
She's a bottomless gorgon.
Peggy.
Oh, that's her
Score down.
Well, bring her back. She can dance with bottomless mimosa.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, you'll also notice that the Gorgon is wearing a. It looked like kind of just like a fashion piece from far away, but up close, it's like this black iron like manacle around her neck that's like faintly inscribed with like glowing runes.
Ooh.
Does she have any jewelry?
I wonder if that
She's all of her jewelry is like wood, basically. It's like, and it looks to be like made of mushroom wood. Like it's like Undercity
So
type
it's
jewelry.
a manacle made of. So she's a manacle with gold runes.
It's no, they're not gold.
And
They're
that's
just like
it?
glowing blue, but it's the iron. It's like made of like black twisted iron, and it's like wrapped really tight around her neck.
Does
Oh.
it look? Does it resemble any
Right.
sort of culture that I would have traded with before?
I don't think so. Well,
Would I have seen it
culture
before?
that you've traded with? No, you
or
haven't.
something we would have imported. Or
I don't think so. This looks to be like a pretty
Is the style like
bespoke. It's like I think that if you had like a mage look at it, I guess they'd probably tell you it's like it is definitely a magical artifact, but it looks or a magical item, but it's like a bespoke magical item. Somebody made this for a specific purpose.
So this-
Arvindr can cast counterspells, so it's kind of magey.
Once.
I could cast identify.
I think you'd already
No, I could-
cast it too, right?
I feel
also
like I
can't
did.
count-
I think
but
you
I
did.
Don't know when.
You did on
I don't know if that was like the joking.
Are you talking about the tooth one?
no, because I remember I heard it. Yeah, the tooth counter spell. She used it.
Was it with the beholders?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know that it was with the
I can't-
beholders.
I
I,
mean,
remember
that's-
saying
Or
I
s-
used it, but I don't remember
What-
what I used it for.
The only things
It
we-
was in like episode 4. I
the
remember
only
I
things
listened
we
to it.
fought since we got it are the beholders and this.
There was some. It was like some spell that she
Have we?
used
I
it
mean, have we
against.
fought anything else?
Was it against the cage guy?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
You did use it though. I remember that. I remember like marking it because like when I was listening to it again, I was like, does she still have this? I think it was maybe a beholder tried to. I don't know. They could cast spells. I think
You should counterspell the counterspell.
that's what it was. I think actually
Oh, might have been.
maybe.
Oh yeah.
I could be right.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what specifically.
It's
that
fine.
was-
It
Yeah,
doesn't
it yeah, but she used it anyway.
So the style is not kind of like not like
It's like a
obviously like
Human
or
other,
distinct.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a-
distinguishable.
I
style.
mean, you have a lot of experience around forges, so you'd probably recognize that the metalwork is like not up to dwarven standards. So you'd
It's
probably
kinda shabby.
you'd probably guess it was like a human or like one of the races that isn't like known for their forge work who like made it.
Are you able to tell anything?
You can make an Arcana check.
Would I be able to tell anything about like the runes that are in it?
You can make an Arcana
Yeah,
check.
10.
Yeah, you're not really sure. Your experience is more related to like divine stuff,
Mhm.
so you don't get anything.
17.
You think that these runes are somewhat vile? Like you can't read what the spell is in what the spell actually is, but
I'm just getting ready.
okay, okay. But you can tell that like it was like something dark. Like
Okay.
this thing is like something dark, and I don't think that any of you guys.
What's the script? What script are the runes being written in?
It's probably like infernal or something like that.
Can
I
you
do
take it
appreciate
off of
that.
her?
I
You can
wouldn't-
try. It's like welded shut.
We have to cut her head off.
okay.
I mean,
Smash
we
her head off.
could.
Oh.
We
oh yeah, you
could
could just
but-
slide it down
wait.
her neck. Really easy.
If you beheaded her, would you be able to petrify things?
No, because he
With
has
the
her
head.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but after the hour's up or whatever.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, like so it's like if if you're thinking like Perseus and Medusa, her ability doesn't work like that. It's like a concentrated effort of will on her part.
I don't know that I'd
I
wanna
haven't
touch
been
it.
here long, but I know we shouldn't stay in one spot for long, so I'm gonna be going.
Yeah. Okay. Stool wanders off.
Oh,
And so yeah,
Thank you.
the infernal
Thank you.
script.
Nice to meet you.
New character, I guess.
So the
Yizzy comes back.
there's Yizzy. But yeah, so I think the black iron thing, like, it's written in Infernal, and you know that I think that none of you would say that like the Gorgon used any magic against you. So like if this thing is enchanted and like in a way that's beneficial to her, none of you saw her using it in that way, which is surprising
Is it too
considering.
dangerous to
can't-
leave here?
I can't imagine that a manacle around her neck does anything good for her.
It's a Joker, right? Basically.
Do you?
It's ugly.
It's like a choker.
Yeah, it's like a slave thing.
Yeah.
Do you guys often talk about cutting heads off?
No.
He's like around the corner.
This is the first time it's come up.
We just don't want to leave something potentially dangerous in the street.
As you
Where
guys are
children
talking
could get a
and
hold
like
of it.
her body is kind of like, because you guys have been here for probably like 10 minutes now, like trying to decide what to do. Her, and like as her body is like cooling off, for lack of a better term, I guess, like she's like, her like spirit is going to the next world or whatever. You see that it like,
I catch spirit catch.
is that a thing?
I wish.
I catch it in a vial. Forget dust, I'm catching souls now. No, so the you'll see the glowing runes around the necklace like start to fade. Like the longer you guys are waiting here, like the glow is dimming.
I don't think that it's anything I particularly want to have anything to do with.
Do we want to talk to her?
Does anyone have prestidigitation?
No.
Yes.
We could talk to her if
What
you want.
good are we? I want her. Are her clothes nice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're fancy.
they're pretty. They look pretty nice.
I
I mean, they're
cannot-
like an Undercity make. It's not like the finest seamstress or whatever, and you're not really familiar with like the materials, but like they look pretty nice and they look soft.
I'm gonna take her dress.
Okay. You have like a spider silk and mushroom skin gown.
What does she have? underneath?
Mushrooms.
She's
What does she
Yeah,
have
like
left?
shaving. Nothing. She's naked. But she is also like featureless and sexless.
That's-
Like
that's 'cause
they, yeah.
Are her
Bub took
pronouns
her
still...
butt.
She calls
Okay.
herself a she.
That's fine.
Yeah, she doesn't have a butt because he's currently
She's
in possession of her
bottomless.
like fine ass.
Unisex.
So that's the only curve she had.
No, she's
And
got
you
like
took it.
it's like well like so
She
it's
wasn't gonna use it.
So is she like a Barbie where she's got like no like genitals,
Yeah.
but she just has like boobs?
yeah, so
shapes?
it's almost like so like I mean the way that Gorgons are described in the book is they're like they look human from a distance, but it's like in the same way that like a predator would like pretend to be something that's not dangerous and then like attack after you get close. So like she's got like all of like the lumps, I suppose, that would make her
She's
like
got no nipples.
yeah,
She's a
she has
Barbie.
she's a Barbie doll.
She's
yeah.
the Barbie. Okay. Is there some kind of... No, actually, okay, so Arvindr, you like broke down some of the boards on that house.
I mean, if we're thinking it'd be better to be farther away, I'd be okay with that.
I think
I
that
think
that
we're
would
too
probably
close.
good. I also feel like we should shove her body somewhere.
Oh, so the body's away.
Down is that way.
There's a few dead dog. Or
I think
wolves.
there's like one or two dead moss dogs. You guys killed
Yeah,
them.
I mean, if I can pry the window open and we can put them in there.
Yeah,
Oh, also the
let's
one that
do
Leonora
that.
turned
The
into a
bug.
toadstool. Like, as you guys are just talking, and like, you guys are like talking, and I assume like all facing each other. The toadstool, which is like right there, like you hear like a loud pop and a yelp, and it turns back into a moss dog that like runs out the building and like runs away.
Yeah, I think we should toss the bodies and find somewhere a little bit.
Safer.
Yeah.
I can clean the blood stains if you guys want to take care of the bodies.
All right.
All right, bloodstains are gone. All the wounds are cleaned, and your dress is nice too.
Lovely. Oh, I can erase the bloody in my inventory.
Yeah, there's not bloody anymore.
No, if there's holes in it, I have an ending.
Are there holes in it?
You did hit her in the heart with a dagger, so.
I
So
will
there's
mend.
One big one in a very striking location.
How tall was she?
She was probably like a little taller than Bub, so probably like 6 foot actually.
Okay.
She was
I'm fine
like
with that.
a strike. Like Gorgons are shaped to be like striking women, right? From a
Okay.
distance.
You can always get it altered.
And dwarves are like
Cat wants to know if she was blonde.
4-ish.
Does she really?
No.
But she was. She was your girlfriend figure, Cat.
It's true.
Dwarves are like 4 feet, 4.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so again, like,
How tall was the assassin? Whose clothing I stole.
he was shorter.
How short?
Like, he was human, but like the shorter end of humans, like 5'6".
Okay.
Yeah, it's the shorter end of you.
Okay.
That is. It is. I'm confused. What?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Lovely.
Okay. So nobody's like questioning why you're taking all of these different sized clothing.
I'm questioning in my head.
No one fit. Like you
mean,
obviously don't
Kimber
fit in
is
any of
We can
them.
assume you can sell them.
That's fair. I think Arvindr especially would be like, oh, she's like a clothing peddler. She has to earn her money somehow.
They talked about killing her, cutting off the head, then they stripped her of her clothing.
She doesn't need her.
It's a common
We're
custom
recycling.
for the
She was trying to
upworlders.
kill you. I mean, like,
She was trying
Yeah.
to kill you.
He hugged her dog.
But I wouldn't want to kill them.
don't say that to me. I don't like, okay. You don't have to kill anybody if you don't want to. I'd like to see you try with the character sheet that you've got.
Can't.
Well, actually,
A mushroom could.
if you roll like a certain number, then yeah.
Do you know which way you came from?
Down is that way.
Let's go down.
Do you have fingers to point?
No, he's
He's got tendrils.
And, yeah, they would.
Oh, okay.
ugh, that's such a gross image. Like he's holding his arm out straight, and his little wavy roots go.
Where did you come from?
But we need to
There's
go down
more?
anywhere.
Yeah, there's way more.
Lots. It's dry. You might not like it.
Why? Why would you be up there? It's so dry. But we should not stay here. There are things hunting
Then you
me.
should stop asking questions and we should go.
I'm all the way over here, waiting.
Can we follow you?
I thought down was that
This
way.
is
Are
up,
you leading
down
us
is that way.
down?
Oh,
I don't know.
let's go.
Now you do.
I've
So
only
you
been
can
here for a
see.
few
Brad,
four cycles.
Brad,
Let's go.
you
Alright.
would want them to come with you down.
But I don't know which way's down.
Yeah, you do. You came that way.
But I've been moving, being chased around for a while.
Oh,
You're
that's
the wrong
yeah.
way.
I guess they did. They did like corner you, but like,
Yeah,
so
I don't know
you
what-
guys would know that this
Yeah.
way is down.
I don't.
You're going
I
the
should
wrong
always
way.
know
Are we?
which way is
Yeah.
north and be relative to that.
But down is
Kimber,
not
can you
related to
find
north.
the main street?
Yes.
if
right
you would
there.
know that north is one of these directions, then down is like that. You just add a z-axis onto it.
Main Street's right there.
There.
Right there.
Is that the main street?
That's it.
No, it's like a couple over, but like I don't want to draw it
I
again.
probably
So yes.
shouldn't
I
be
mean, we're
seen
wanderers, so
on
we're
the
pretty
main
good with
streets.
Yeah, you guys have a
direction.
map
Yeah.
in your heads.
I
I'm
should
a
be
far
seen
cry.
on the main streets.
I can help you if you come with me and let me hold your hand.
So why doesn't
Stub.
Kimber hover
No.
All right.
and
Okay.
show us the way?
Yeah, I think that so you guys would be able to
Because
like
if you can see over the buildings,
she
then you
can
can
for the
tell.
most
I
part.
take
There's
your
some taller
hand.
ones, but for the most part she can.
So I'll go over. I'll take Stool's hand or whatever his little
Mhm.
You're holding your stool.
limb is, and
Not her stuff.
this like
Someone.
shimmer of like
Someone's
gray
soul.
mist kind of.
Don't
You
let
can
go
see
of
it for like a
Stool.
moment, and then I smile at you and say, "It'll be okay."
Okay.
So do I still look like myself?
Yeah.
So
But
I have
so,
a
like,
shroud
If
that
I'm walking down a street,
you probably notice that
people are like,
It says you're hard to see.
it's
They'll
him.
Yeah,
notice you
you're-
less.
you,
like, you
like,
draw less attention.
are hazy. So the way her shroud works is that like it obscures. It like makes you like like a hazy outline unless you're like close.
It distorts your form. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like it's that type of thing where if
You,
people
like-
look at you straight on,
Yeah.
they can't really.
It's like shadowy.
Mhm.
But like you don't perceive it because she's like included you in the effect. So like you would probably think that nothing has changed, but like she's assuring you.
Okay.
You can roll to trust her.
Trust.
What are you rolling?
She's probably
Trust.
the most trustworthy looking one of all.
That's
That
true.
is 100%
If you roll
fair.
Arcana, that roll is high enough for you to be able
I'm
to tell
not a
that she's
fat ass,
cast a
so I
spell
don't
on you. I got a big fat ass. You better find something to turn to stone real quick, or else that ability's gonna go away. You got about 45 minutes left on it.
Is there random people on the street?
I was just gonna suggest that if you didn't.
There's like a couple of like people like as you're walking down, you
I
see
will
a couple
hold your
people like
hand
coming out of their
tighter.
houses. Are you gonna turn someone to stone?
Maybe the ones that like are looking too hard at him, like trying to like.
Okay, actually that's all right. It's not. So you got a lesser version of her effect. It
What?
only lasts for 10
Tail,
minutes.
He looks like
Okay.
he's Manx and it's really, really funny.
Who?
Yeah,
He's eating his tail.
Take a
no,
picture.
he's laying on it, so like it looks like he has a tail.
Oh.
I don't know if the picture turned out.
He's a kitty lope.
Yeah. So you can turn people to stone, but it only lasts for 10 minutes,
I do it.
and it doesn't hurt them as much as hers did.
Well, that's not
You like
No.
We rolled to see if you were making a flattering face, and you weren't.
That's a cast.
you were in agony.
I only have one greater restoration.
Well, no,
Oh,
they turn back.
Do I know that?
No. But he's turning people. So he's turning people to stone as they walk by.
But I don't know that he can do that. So
That's They're just turning to stone. That's all that you
are
perceive.
you doing this?
No, I'm not. I'm keeping you safe.
I felt some magic when you held my hand, and now people are turning to stone.
Oh, that's Bub.
Who's Bub?
I'm also keeping you safe.
like whisper in his ear behind his head.
We need Jerusha.
Here I
Oh,
am.
where's
Oh, where's-
Jerusha?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's this whole time. Oh, he's still like feigning death.
Oh yeah. Oh, were you carrying?
Yeah, you're
Oh, I was
carrying him.
carrying
He's
him.
like over your
He's up
shoulder.
there with me, so when he wakes
Is
up
he
from his
ever
faint,
gonna
He's really scared.
Our alternate solution was to put him in the bag of holding every time combat started and just keep our combats to less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
We weren't sure which would make him more anxious.
He's gonna be helpful in combat eventually.
Just give him a
If I ever
magic
decide to
mushroom.
give him a
Wait, show
helpful
the
spell.
camera.
What, I mean,
Oh.
are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
She
This
bounces
is-
all the time.
This
Yeah,
is
I'm all good.
Jerusha.
She has life alert.
Jared.
I can cast
Jerusha.
fly on him so he can fly alongside
He's
me.
a very nervous man.
Please do that. I gave you that spell so that you could use it in stupid ways.
Wait, what? Which
I
one?
literally did.
Fly.
I was like, Chris,
Flying
we'll
mushroom.
find something dumb to do with this, and I'm giving it to him because
Jerusha.
Jerusha would hate it. Oh my god. He's probably like
What?
You need to
acrophobic.
talk. That's how he flies.
I do it. I
Okay.
cast fly.
He just starts like levitating and is like, "Oh my god, no, please!"
Does he wake himself up?
Yeah. I'd say that like,
Do you have Jerusha's fly?
It lasts 10 minutes.
yep. You just like maintain concentration on him. You're turning people to
It doesn't
stone
mean-
left
Do
and
we have
right.
the other one or is it
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
still broken?
But that's okay.
Oh,
Wait, it's a willing
it's
creature.
broken.
Is he willing?
Yeah, he was incapacitated, so yes.
Can't
That's
say
what
yes if you're past that.
It's the rules of the game. That's horrible. I mean fair,
You
but
need
like,
permission.
do I have your permission?
Consent.
Do I have your consent
No responses.
to cast a
Yes.
spell on you?
So those feet and the stand are on the shoulder.
Mark off your 3rd level spell slot.
Worth.
It's
He's
better
like-
when you haul him.
I'm
He's
holding
like
him.
squealing. So you guys are just gonna continue down? Is that what is happening? Stool, did you? So they told you which direction to go is down. Are you gonna tell them anything else, or like, are you gonna say something, or?
So like,
Why do they like you
I'm
as slaves?
sleepy.
Have you seen any marbles down there?
What's a marble?
I'm sleepy. Bad time.
I started going like this. And I'm
What's wrong?
holding your hand with one, the other one like this.
Oh, God
He's so cute.
Okay, yeah. You guys can make an investigation check, all of you can, to see if you can find a tricky place to sleep, and I'll let you hit that long rest button.
Probably not. What is it?
Yeah, Bub finds a place.
Investigation.
investigation, 15.
Is that an 18? I can't see.
Yeah.
Bub critted, so
20.
he's gonna be the one to find it. Any of you probably could have, though. So you guys will, like, walk up on this house that, like, is falling in. Like, no living creature would, like, make its home there, probably. But you guys think it's a pretty good place to rest your heads for a little bit.
We can maybe squat there.
To poot. Yeah. Yeah.
A
Okay.
stool squat.
A stool squat.
Stool squat.
Yeah, so it'll be this house. This one. So all of you can take a rest.
Does anyone have the spell softener for me?
I hate you.
Is this a long or a short rest?
Long rest.
Yeah, you guys are gonna
We've been traveling a lot.
rest. Yeah.
I think we've long rested once in like 7 sessions.
You have.
Yeah.
I've been doing that on purpose.
I forgot I can teleport.
Yep. That is something that you can do. Misty Step. I almost gave you a bigger one too, but I decided not to.
Well, I think if
If you wanted to get rid of a different thing, you could have a bigger one. Dimension
I
door.
forgot what I have that.
Oh, also
increases
gate,
my
I
magic
think.
by 5 feet.
Arcane gate.
Oh, the Wand of the War Mage. But that's for
Oh, the wildfire.
yeah, the Worldfire Staff. But that's specifically to like spells that have
War
like
Mage
a
and-
shape
This is so pretty.
to them, not like range. So like Misty Step is a point that you can see. But something like Vitriolic Sphere.
Oh,
So
like a
instead of
shape.
like a 40 or 20-foot sphere, it'd be a 25-foot sphere.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So yeah, so you guys can take a long rest. Kimber, you're gonna keep watch, I assume, since you don't have to long rest.
That is correct.
You repair yourself. Everybody gets back up to full hit points.
And hit that or half. You hit something.
You recover half your hit dice if you've spent any.
I'm gonna show this.
Your petrifying gaze ends. All of your ongoing spell effects
Before
are
we
over.
cut it.
It's so pretty. Look at this pie.
It's purple.
It'll show up in a second.
It was gray before.
It's beautiful.
It's showed up.
Oh, I hate that.
Mine is so behind.
Yeah,
It's
they're.
always behind.
It's because of all
You
the Wi-Fi.
just put us into the
Oh, really? That's
hut
a long time.
invite. Yeah.
So I think that Stool, you're still a little stressed out that people are gonna find you, but you are able to take a rest for a second. You think that these people are strong enough to protect you again should something happen.
Are we in the hut or no?
You're just in a dilapidated building. He decided you didn't think there was a need to cast Liamin's tiny hut.
Is the hut more comfortable than the dilapidated building?
I don't think the hut is anything like it's not like an
Does the
it's
hut
just like
come
a
with,
covering,
like,
right? It's not
hot?
like a,
It's a protected covering, so
Does it
people
have
couldn't like
hot?
attack
Does it
us.
seem
in
like
it.
it
yeah,
was
but it's
water
not
under
like it doesn't. Huh?
I guess we're not really outside.
I think that you guys would have like food and water like from the tower where you came from. Because I mean, like if you think about it, it's only been
Did you
like
eat all your fairies?
it's only been like 8 hours since you guys like rested last. actually.
The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry. That's
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
'Cause,
It's
like-
just yeah.
This is the same day that you guys went to the strip club.
I mean, it doesn't.
But we
Like
started
it
our
was so
day at
long
like
You
ago.
get your spell slot
Yeah,
back. So
you started your day at like
4
It wouldn't
a.m.
at like 4 a.m. That's when Tolan
No,
talked to
it
you, but you
doesn't
guys
hurt
went
at
to the
all.
strip club
Like,
today.
I could do it. I was also thinking about going around and mending a whole bunch of stuff in this dilapidated building that's
I also
there.
have mending.
So we could fix it all
Oh.
up and then
And have our home base. in
have a home
under-
Roll a
base.
d6.
You should go around fixing up houses.
Sunset happened.
And we
So
sell
during
them.
this long rest,
We could-
the sunset
we could
Buy
call our-
houses,
we
mend
could-
them,
So you get
and
3 of
sell
your
them.
stars
We'll,
back.
we'll
Fixer
call
uppers.
ourselves the upper
For
fixers.
your,
The upper
The
fixer.
lower fixers.
so I
Lower
made a little thing
fixers.
for you right there. So
Fixer
you get
lowers.
3 of them back. You only had 1 left. But like as you're like sleeping, 4 or 3 regrow, and then also you lose your petrifying gaze.
Aw, do you not have a butt anymore?
No, he's
No.
got the same butt that he had before. It's still pretty nice, but it's not as nice as
Hers.
hers. Yeah.
Your ass got flat.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So people are getting shorter.
Maybe we can
some
find
people are
somebody
getting
else
their butt.
for you to steal their butt.
Yeah.
What about the people I like?
What? Oh, they turn back. They only last. It only lasts for 10 minutes. So you guys were able to get into this building without being seen because everybody that you passed on the road turned to stone.
Are they gonna notice that now we fixed up this building?
Have you fixed up the building?
They
But
Busy
just the
mending it.
inside,
I just
right?
need 6 hours, so I'm spending 2 of these hours for everybody's 8 rest. To
dead.
mending the whole building.
mending the building.
I
So we
mean,
wake
I
up
think
and it's
that-
like this beautiful interior.
I don't think that that's true.
Is there shiplap on the walls?
There's shiplap.
What is
Feature
what does
wall?
like the level 11 mending do?
Let's see. So at 5th, if more than 4/5 of an object is present, cumulative damage.
Okay.
This is it. At 11th, the spell can mend any amount of fragments of an object that could fit in the volume of a 1-foot cube.
Okay,
or
so
tear.
yeah, actually, you're able to
That's 3 feet in dimension.
repair a lot of like the broken
So
stuff.
I'm going around fixing
Yeah.
stuff up.
I mean, so like broken beams and everything, you're able to piece back together by like reuniting fragments. So yeah, when you guys wake up, the building looks to be in a much better state of. It's like still in a state of disrepair, but like compared to what
I'm,
it
like,
was.
flying up to the ceiling and
Yeah.
fixing patches in it.
Yeah.
Are you loud while you're doing
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Anything about noise?
I mean, it's not the
Is it
spell.
magical
It's not the
mending?
spell that's loud. It's you. You are wearing heavy armor. You like clank whenever you move, and also you scream like half the words that you say.
I'm not. They're all resting. I'm not gonna be screaming and being rude. I'm not charismatic.
You
but I'm
are-
not rude.
Definitely clanking though.
You're not trying to be.
Mm.
That's what matters.
You have disadvantage on stealth checks, right? You are
Yeah,
wearing
but
heavy
I could
armor.
also doff my armor, which
In like an hour.
and then I spend an hour.
It's less.
Fixing it up.
It's less
I thought it
than
was
that,
less
I
than that.
think.
What are you wearing? Full plate?
I don't remember chainmail.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's like 30 minutes, I think. But yeah, so you guys do this. You rest, and what are you? Did you guys tell Stool like what you guys were going down for?
I
Because
think-
he wants you to go down for different
I
reasons.
think he's.
I think we need to coordinate because we're just sort of walking.
I explained to him about what marbles are.
Okay, he probably appreciates that. I'm gonna do it.
He may also benefit from that book.
Yeah, you
You're
can
in
have some of the
heavy
anatomy
armor
books.
Share
takes
with
you 5 minutes to get off, 10 minutes to get on.
So for 5 minutes we hear like Kimber in the corner like
I'm
clink
shifting.
clink 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 clink.
Technically, I think it basically
Shimmying
just
out of
like
your armor.
I think it just exudes out of my skin because that's the thing. Like
Oh,
for,
so you're
for my
reabsorbing.
Warforged. Yeah, I didn't have to
That's
like.
kind of cool.
I basically like exude it off of me, and then I can be quiet, and then I
Well,
can
if you're
absorb
just
it back.
absorbing it,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that should be loud.
No,
If you're
the
taking
taking
it
off
I feel
maybe as it's clanging
like
to the ground
moving
would be one
and
thing,
taking
but
it off would be.
but no, then it
And
just
if you're
kind of
if you're
absorbs
like
back.
growing it and the pieces are fitting together, that might be loud.
Yeah. No, but with chainmail too, it's
Any heavy armor. 5
Any
minutes,
heavy
10
armor.
minutes.
there you go.
Light armor is 1 minute, 1 minute.
There you go.
Okay, so we came down looking for the artifacts, and once we got down here, we heard the fairies screaming, and we found out that there was a woman who was being charged some
For
exorbitant protection fees. And my suspicion is that perhaps all of this is sort of related to some unsavory group that's down here. We also know that there are like weird shadowy people
Following us?
Ooh.
Do we know that they're following us, or do we just keep seeing them?
Two of you, I think, keep seeing them.
Okay.
Bub and Lady Peregrine.
Yeah.
You've had me
Yeah.
look for them, but I don't think
It's a
I've
child.
ever. Maybe I saw them once a while back,
Yeah.
but I haven't really noticed them since. So.
Do his flames.
And so
Yeah, try to like transition
Please.
his tail a little bit, because right now he looks kind of ridiculous. Yeah, even out.
She grunts when she wants attention. Just like you.
Oh look, it's like more purple on the bottom. This would make really nice.
So Lady Peregrine, you could make an insight check if you want confirmation that what you're saying is true.
I mean, I don't necessarily have any.
Did Stool see anything as she was coming up from the under?
I feel like this needs to be cold.
I'll be right there.
It probably should be.
Stool.
It's
Yeah,
really.
he can
It
answer
can
that.
taste good, but it's really weird at room temperature.
It's super goopy.
Happy birthday, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Weird lemon pie with purple meringue.
It's a blueberry. It's got freeze-dried blueberries in it.
What were you asking,
Thank you.
Stephanie?
I was asking whether
My
Lady-
cup is right next to the pie.
Lady Peregrine was saying that maybe there's whoever is responsible for these things going on is somewhere in the under. And so I was wondering whether Stool saw anything as he was coming up.
I mean, you. Okay, so what you remember, Stool, because like I said, your memories are sort of fragmented because the way your people like pass on learning is like genetic memory. But you know
Touch mycelium.
that there's no like humanoids other than the myconids down as deep as you are, other than like the people that are like enslaving your tribe.
They're drow.
Not that you know of.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah.
have seen humans and some elves and some like not drow elves, like normal high elves, and probably some like.
Get out
What
of
are
the
they
box.
called?
Field elves.
Crook elves.
Box.
Like I don't know, some other
Okay. Yeah. I've
Some other
seen
random-
some things.
yeah, some other random like some other like random humanoid races, but they all of the people that down there that don't look like your tribe, like mushroom people, are the ones that are like treating your tribe terribly, like slaves.
I tried to keep my head down and stay out of trouble.
Seems to be difficult to do. You're very tall.
Yes. I have neck pain, so that's why my head's down.
Are you tall amongst your people?
Yes, I am the largest.
Aw.
I was chosen to come seek help because I am the largest.
Who chose you?
The queen.
The queen mushroom?
Does she ever go by the crown?
No.
Is her name
That was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Can I have more?
More, please.
Okay.
Can
I'm
I
gonna go
have
get some.
more?
What are you doing? Oh,
So we asked Jerusha about his shadow dudes. I'm not unconvinced that this isn't all his people being shady.
Oh yeah, we
That's
haven't
probably
questioned
my main
Jerusha.
working theory, is that his people are shadier than he thinks they are.
he wouldn't know.
No,
He's been raised by his daddy,
his daddy.
so.
There's nothing weird and sexual about this campaign.
And
That
it-
specifically. Nothing weird
It
and
sounds
sexual.
just more royal than the rest of the names.
But I guess we don't necessarily have any reason to suspect that this halfling woman was getting accosted by the same people who were
Hunting
No.
slaves?
Right.
No.
who were hunting. So I guess we've got three things going on here. We've got the artifact dude
Mm-hmm.
that Steve told us about.
Who's somewhere down further.
We've got people hunting mushroom slaves.
Somewhere down further.
And we've got people extorting protection money.
Which is here.
No, well, you don't know that it's here.
We
This
haven't actually talked to anyone in this entire area
No.
who wasn't an awakened snake.
You have not.
Uh,
Who also said that he
no.
wasn't from here.
I
We
did
have
talk
heard
to
a lot
some
of people.
dwarves,
The
and they
apple
were running
people.
away.
We did talk to the apple people,
The
and they
apple
told
people.
us that we couldn't eat
The
glass or lick the
Lick the
potion.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Even though there was a sign,
I was like, mushroom people, apple people? When did I like make a race of apple beings? I don't remember
Oh,
that.
there's an idea.
We're all fruit. Food items.
Fruit of the loom.
Oliver hates that.
I know.
But yeah, so
Fruit of the Loom does not like Stool.
you guys don't even know like
It's to leave a street.
what the whole like woman screaming for help thing was really all about. Like the bard told you guys that she was saying that somebody had asked her for protection money, but like there's no context to that. But you also don't know that she wasn't from farther down. Like he just assumed that she was from the mid belly because like
Is that
why
where we
would
are
he-
now?
Yeah, you guys are in like the mid part.
Is there okay, so is there some kind of like town square marketplace gathering place down here that
Mm-mm.
Kimber would be able to find? So this is a purely residential area.
It's like
Like there's not like a Walmart or something.
it's just like broken. Like this area is just like
Is it a ghost
Dollar General.
yeah, it's like a ghost town. It's like the slums in a ghost town. So like yeah, there's like a place that used to be a town square, but like it's not like a place that people go.
Do
if that
people
makes
live?
sense.
I mean, is there like
There's like a few people. You guys have seen like a few random people like sticking their heads out of windows and stuff.
Yeah, Leonora spoke to one when she was like, "What is that siren?" And the
It wouldn't
dude
talk
was
to me.
like, "No, nothing good," and then like ran away.
Yeah.
He was in his house. He didn't run away.
Ran away from her.
He put his head back
into
inside his window.
Yeah,
Stool?
ran away.
Are these the first buildings that you've seen, or is there more down below?
The first I've seen like this.
You've seen one big black fortress.
I've seen one big.
Hate you.
One big building.
Further down?
One
Big.
What kind of houses do your people live in?
I don't think that they do.
Oh.
The whole. We live in caves.
Cave mushrooms. Not necessarily.
Do you dig them out or like? I want to see what their architecture looks like.
I open my book.
Is it a scrapbook?
Beautiful
Of
pictures.
family photos.
It's Stool's Pinterest.
Your tribe of mushrooms doesn't live. They don't. They before.
They don't believe in architecture.
Yeah, like your genetic memory would allow you to say that, like,
Yeah. After he does this, you do yours.
just like so, like your genetic memory would allow you to say that your people don't. There's been no need for buildings. They don't like. They live inside. They live in a cave.
Yeah.
And they live like in giant mushroom forests, so they don't like build things. They like live amongst other giant mushrooms.
Are you like a giant symbiotic mushroom
Yeah.
community?
Yes.
I kind of make that appear in my book.
Are
Yeah.
you a mushroom hippie?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
assuming that
yeah,
I'm
because
being
that's
your book
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And so about like again, this was like genetic memory. So he's like got like these fractured things, but like 20 or 30 years ago.
That was my people
Like-
being captured.
Do you want some?
It's very intense. It's a moving
Yeah, it-
experience. Can you make it bigger?
Here, I'll show you.
We could give you your own tent.
I have a book that can do that. Does different things.
It's horrible.
What page did you open to, Kimber?
Probably 33.
It kind of looks like that.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so
That's
he would say that like
We'll find out.
he doesn't know how
Oh,
many
I've got a
years.
book that does
it
something
even
like
go to
that.
33?
Yeah, it's
Is
that.
that 33?
No,
No,
it doesn't
there's-
have 33
Four
It's got 5
pages.
pages. That one's only sperm.
It's not this.
It's
this
not the
one's,
sperm.
No,
that's-
that one's
oh.
that's pretty
Rah.
amazing. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I think that one's good. I like that.
It's Steve.
Snakes?
Yeah, it's Steve.
anyway,
Snake Bank.
It's combination of what happens when Steve
What do
meets
you know about
Snake Bank. You know, you're welcome, Twitch.
Ew.
Yeah, we're gonna get kicked out.
This poor person
But I have
who's
mature
trying
audience
to
on there.
solicit
That's
banners for us. We're like getting spammed.
That's how we know we've made it.
Someone who's gonna design banners, icons, and overlays for our stream,
that's a lot.
featuring.
She's like, can you make this into better?
Anyway, so what you guys would see in his book is that like a long time ago, according to him, they like
Why does he have a book?
what?
Because
He's a storyteller.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
background.
It's probably made of like
Gotcha.
it's probably made of like mushroom paper.
Ooh, that's a thing.
That
Your
is
book
lavender.
is made out of skin.
Is that like it's like a Necronomicon for you?
Skin book.
Your dress is made out
They're
of his
plants. They're plants, so it's like not
Leather.
weird. It's not like I
skin.
don't know.
It's like, our own flesh is, just meat. So
Well,
it's
you like
okay.
use like a hammer and it's made out of metal. Does that make you like?
Oh.
Kimber's made out of
Different between
kimberlite.
sentients. I was
You're
gonna
made
say
out of rock.
kimberlite, rock.
Anyway, fair enough. Anyway, so yeah, so like a long time ago, and you don't not sure how long in terms of years because you guys don't have like cycle. Yeah, like many
840,000 spore
cycles.
cycles ago.
Many spore cycles ago, these people came and like moved into like this like ancient ruin that's like in your mushroom forest, and they like sort of like subjugated you guys, and you're peaceful, and so like you weren't able to fight back, and they had you rebuild their keep, and now there's like this big black stone monstrosity of like a fortress in the middle of this mushroom forest where his people are used like slaves to like keep things running.
I don't like the big black building.
Does it have any symbols on it? Any drawings or pictures?
Have you been there
That's
before?
2 stumps.
I stay away from there.
You were born farther away so that you were able to escape. To go find
I
help.
was injected with chemicals to make me this large.
You were an experiment.
GMO.
I am a
Stool.
genetically modified stool.
My name is Gmo.
No, but you would know that like the queen of your people actually did like specifically grow you as a sporling or whatever to like be big so that you could like walk out, essentially.
The rulers of the castle are Sir Roundup and Queen DuPont.
I think there's got to be a Monsanto in there somewhere.
He's the evil vizier.
Monsanto, I don't like him. You've heard of Monsanto.
I've heard of him.
Monsanto. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
evil sheriff.
They're the evil.
He's got to be like the
king.
executioners.
Yeah.
Do you hear it's Sir Roundup and Queen DuPont
Okay.
and their son Monsanto?
Okay.
Who's particularly horrible.
Okay. That's canon now. I hope you know that.
I love that. I love that for
We're not
us.
sponsored by Roundup.
Or Monsanto.
So we've pissed off the KGB.
And big corn.
No way.
DuPont.
In chat, I said KGB #1.
Yo, so we're covered. We're okay.
I got it. I got it.
So I guess we should go after Big Pharma next week.
Yeah, fuck those guys. No, okay. So I think that let me tell you one more thing that you would be able to see. I think that if you guys are looking at him telling his story about the book, one of the things that you notice from him, the shattered sort of genetic memories, are the fact that these people often the people that live in this castle will often leave empty-handed and then come back with shit. They will come back with stool.
With Stool.
Yeah. With,
So they're using it as a substrate to grow more mushrooms on?
no, more like things like silver gloves or silver necklaces or golden daggers.
Wait.
Maybe they're fighting vampires.
Yes. Maybe.
Collecting all the silver.
Well, do I see
So
anything
can we see this happening in
around
the book?
written in thieves'
I don't like
pants?
this.
Like symbols.
From him looking at
Let's not go
Or
there.
like
They have too much silver. I don't like it.
around the area. Have
What'd
I
you
seen
get?
anything like that? It's an 18 plus whatever.
I think that your thieves' cant is maybe rusty because you haven't been a thief for a while. But you have noticed, walking by things that there do seem to be some markings in buildings that are occupied.
Okay.
Their thieves' cant's marking. And you would recognize this as basically as a check mark in thieves' cant,
So
essentially.
yes, people are here. No, people aren't here.
Mm-hmm. They're really small in doorways, but you've seen it. You probably noticed it after Kimber repaired the doorstop here.
It's like a census counter.
It's more like somebody's your feet are really sweaty.
That's an interesting thing to
That
write in
is-
Thieves'
that was-
Cant on the
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris, but that was gross.
What was that?
No, that sounds just like something that you might. It's if you in the bathroom, Chris has sweaty feet.
That's written on the
I
box.
felt the
What-
wetness. That was so weird. Okay, anyway.
It's kind of like that communication.
I was gonna say,
Or-
it means
Very
something
sweaty.
else. It's funny.
Would I
Murder the king.
am I more thinking that
Very
it's marking
sweaty.
buildings that are occupied
go to
or
the store.
buildings where people have paid?
I don't think that you would be able to glean that just
Okay.
from seeing the markings, but you do know that there are definitely some buildings that don't have the markings and that look like they could be occupied.
I'm gonna
Okay.
come over and just put my hand on your shoulder and say, you look like you need some guidance.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. You can now add a D4 to any ability check.
She already made it, so
I know,
Well,
for
I mean,
future
but
reference.
as we're walking,
She's
I'd
curious.
like to
Yeah.
keep looking out.
She's gonna
are you
try-
guys walking?
Well, I'm
Oh, wait,
assuming
we're
we're gonna
long
leave
rested,
and
or we
start
resting?
heading
Going down?
further back. How much does Jerusha know about this part of the city?
Nothing.
Leonora.
He's
He
like,
got pretty beat up.
like he's scared to be here.
Yeah,
He's
he got
never
pretty beat
been.
up before.
So he's never even been out of the temple
I
district. You
think
guys like
you
took
need to
him
be
like
more vigilant.
literally
so
not only from his home, but
I'm
to a
going to
place
give
that he
you a
never thought he
blessing.
would ever go to ever.
Well, good. He's
Is he still
broadening
flying?
his
You
horizon.
get
No,
advantage on your next initiative roll.
So, so yeah, you guys can keep
Sorry.
going down the lane.
I guess. I mean,
Dog.
do we have reason to suspect that there's more shit down there?
Senna.
You know that like where you need to go
Is
down.
is further?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just told you guys.
I mean,
Here,
but like
what?
in
You can get
in
these
in game. So like to me, in game, if I like
Senna
was
has a
walking down a city, like down a hill into a mountain, and like ran into a giant gate and like the poorest abandoned district, my thought would be there's nothing else further down here.
No, you know that there's like a whole section called like the Deep Belly. Like it's like an unmapped like part, like a system of caverns in the mountain. Like this is where Stool is from.
Right, but so I guess so. My thinking is that there's some sort of like shady organization that's operating down here.
Yeah.
And so my thought
Yeah.
would be that would be somewhere more inhabited than like caves.
He's got a
Would
sketchy
it?
sounding dark castle.
That's true. I mean,
Would it? I mean, like,
we
so,
can
like, this
also-
fortress is occupied by people, but, like, it's also, like, in one of the safest parts of the city for someone who's breaking the law. Because no one is there. They have a whole race of people that they've subjugated because they, like, can.
I mean, I guess if Stool has specifically mentioned that they bring back like
He did. He, like, when I said that,
those
he,
particular
like,
artifacts,
if you guys
then
are,
that
like,
would
looking
make
at him,
sense.
like, tell stories in the book, like, you can see people, like, from the genetic memories of, like, all of his, like, various counterparts who have, like, worked for them. Like, people leave the castle with, like, empty hands, like, looking like they're ready to go do stuff, and then come back with, like, gold and gems and, like, objects that...
In which
don't-
case, I mean, I guess yeah, we'll just keep walking.
So will you guys? Oh,
Have you ever noticed them bring back something?
Round, small, round, and glass. In various colors.
What type?
yes. One of my members saw someone carrying 7 of those things.
They saw one.
They saw one.
They saw one of the orange ones.
Numbers can be
One of the orange ones.
Let's go.
So you guys will help me and my community.
Can be
Keep
happy
it.
too.
For the orange one.
If you give us the orange thing, then yes.
But probably yes anyways.
Would you each like a mushroom out of my bag?
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't eat.
Wait. The
They
last
would work
one,
on you.
The last mushroom turned a dog into a pine tree.
That's what I'm
I don't know if you
thinking.
saw that.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't
You were squeezing it pretty tight.
Yeah, I don't know if
So-
any of these.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say that since they didn't think to make a perception check at the time, they probably missed it. They probably heard it squealing and thought that you were just squeezing it real tight. All right, roll 6 D100s. Or 5 D100 if you're not going to do one. Do you want one?
82.
Let me get my
What number
thing.
did you say not to?
Sorry.
82. Oh,
I'm not gonna say no to magic mushroom.
Are you just gonna eat it immediately?
All right, so 82. Real quick. When you
49.
when you pull out 82, so he gives to you, it's like long and thin, and like kind of
Maybe a
pale
marker.
with like a really small like green cap, and it
Marker.
smells like celery.
Oh.
Do I know what it does?
Nope.
I eat it.
If
All right.
if Stool was looking at the mushrooms, would he be able to tell or like have an idea of what they did?
Not necessarily.
My first consumable.
He would be able to make a nature check and maybe guess, but
Okay.
it's not a given.
can I eat like a
Because
little?
I would absolutely
Nope.
Okay,
ask
ate
him
it
what I
all.
should do with it.
Okay, you grow 6 inches.
Ooh,
It hurts.
Oh.
beauty hurts.
You take 10 damage, but you are 6 inches taller, and
Forever.
yep, permanently.
I'm here for it.
But you take 10 damage.
Wait, you said 6 inches?
Yeah, 6 inches. So like
I am
you're
6'5" now.
you're now like on the border of like what is cool for like a human to be. So you look kind of like weird, and also you didn't gain any weight. So like you're like thin and stretched out.
Ooh.
So
You
like
can start
you
eating
look
I can
whatever
be a
you
model.
want.
you look more like Nosferatu than you ever have before. Okay, so would you get 49 for
How
Jonathan?
quickly does this happen after
Oh,
the mushroom?
he ate his, and like you hear him go,
screaming.
ugh, and like probably like hunch over because like his bones are stretching, and then he like stands up and is like visibly taller.
Okay.
Let's see, Jonathan.
Do I realize what happened, or I'm just
I
like,
think that you'd probably
you
recognize
guys
it.
got shorter.
Yeah, I think
Huh,
that
my
you'd
pants are
probably
shorter.
recognize.
Oh wait, do my
Jonathan.
clothes grow with me?
Wait, what did it look like?
Nope.
You're now wearing flip.
What did his mushroom look
Yeah.
like?
It was like long and thin and like white and like kind of like it has like the celery looking ribs. So it was like long and thin.
I was wondering if it was like Mario.
The cap was it was green and white. So Jonathan,
Luigi.
yours
Luigi.
is it sort of looks like paisley. Like the cap on the mushroom is like purple and has like swirls of like pink and orange
You're getting
with like little
You're
patterns.
going on a trip.
And it smells like when if you're gonna smell it, it smells like fresh cotton, like freshly washed cotton.
That sounds lovely.
Do you want to eat it or what?
This is a good one.
Kimber doesn't eat.
Do it.
She can eat. She just
Fuck
doesn't
it.
have to.
Do it.
Okay, you eat it.
Well, okay, hold on. We'll do as Brad does. No, I don't.
What do you do with it?
I say thank you. I might see about this later.
Okay. You don't have anything happen. Lady Peregrine, 24.
It's a low number.
All right, so you.
Pregnant.
Don't eat it.
Pregnant!
Don't eat it.
So okay. So when he reaches in the bag for you, it's funny to me because of like what the motion that he has to do. He like reaches his hand in the bag and like pulls out this like 2 foot long like wooden ass looking like red. It looks like almost like a billy club. Like it has like barely a cap on it. It like woodier fungus almost sort of situation. And he pulls it out and it's like wooden
I don't remember this one.
and it's like 2 feet long.
Thank you, dear.
And you like hold it and make an insight check.
But if she's proficient in it,
Yeah.
everything's a 9.
18.
What? You rolled a 3?
Everything's a 9.
Yeah, okay, so whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a d20 roll with 9 or lower as a 10.
That's fucked up. Yeah, so you think that this would make an excellent club.
Alright.
Like, in case you ever need to club someone to death. This mushroom,
Okay.
as long as it's fresh, it's very wood and very hard. Shut up. There's nothing weird and sexual about this stream. Shut up. Shut up. 84. She got 84.
Is that what I got?
That's 89.
Okay. Oh no. I know that one. I remember it. Okay. So, so this mushroom is like bright yellow. It looks very cheery, and it
That sounds
It
pretty
smells-
Poison dart,
it
bro.
smells like daisies and sunshine. It smells very good. And on the cap, it has this like weird pattern on it, and it looks like this. It's got like that pattern on the cap, and it smells like daisies and sunshine.
How big is
It's
it?
bright yellow. It's kind of little. You could probably eat it in one bite.
You make me smile.
Aww. Should I eat it?
Yes.
You do what you want with it. It is a gift from me to you.
A gift to protect me? Or
Can I roll nature on?
Yeah, you can roll nature.
14.
You're not sure,
Not
but
good
you
with
think
nature.
this one looks a lot like one that you know. Actually, let's see. Like, it gives you like a lot of confidence. Like, so this mushroom is like. You're not sure. Again, you're not
Yeah.
positive, but like it gives you like a lot of confidence and helps you like react faster to danger because you're like so full of like.
It makes you feel happier.
that can mean so many things.
Are you happy? You may
Happy enough.
want to wait till you're not happy to take this.
That's a good idea. And I put it in my backpack.
Okay. And what'd you get? 85?
Yep.
Okay. Are you... So it's like sort of like a dusty pale white.
Ooh. That one's been in there for a while.
Aging scantron.
Yeah.
Those things turn brown so
do.
fast.
It smells like sugar. And is like a kind of like a puffball shape, so it's almost spherical.
Oh, okay.
But it's sort of dusty white.
Could I roll a nature check on it?
Mm-hmm.
This one is sweet.
Maybe just like look at it.
24.
You recognize this mushroom from something that dwarves that spend all their time underground eat.
Okay.
You know that they never recommend it to anyone that's going outside in the sun because when you eat it, it makes you like more nocturnal. It reverses your sleep cycle, gives you better dark vision, and also the sunlight sensitivity trait.
Hi. What you doing?
Does it last permanently?
Yep. It's like something that like they like go on like quests for, like the mining dwarves will go like try and find this mushroom or like bunches of this mushroom to bring back to make them like better miners. Cuz it like improves your dark vision, makes you like.
How much would it be worth hypothetically to the right buyer? These are very, I'll
If
tell
only
him that
we
these are
had
very
snake
prized among my people.
Yeah. The
Snake Bank would know.
Snake Bank
That
would
is
know.
why-
But to dwarves, to like mining dwarves, mountain dwarves, it'd probably be worth like 100 gold, something like that.
That is why I gave it to you. I gave you one, each one that fits your personality.
Is that what you did?
Can I roll a nature check on mine then?
Yeah, sure.
I
Which
thought
one
you were
was
gonna
yours?
say insight on
Or I was gonna say maybe insight too.
1, 2, 3.
18.
You're not sure, but like based on the smell and like the pattern, you think this has something to do with fabric. Which is really weird, but like for whatever reason, when you like smell this mushroom, you're like, maybe I should eat it.
Fabric.
You know that it's safe. It's not gonna like harm you with that nature check, and that you're curious about like why it smells like freshly washed cotton.
Okay, I'll
It
leave
smells
it.
like laundry.
All right.
day.
Kimber, you all of a sudden have like this weird otherworldly knowledge of like fashion.
Yes.
It's turned into tan.
You
Manta Ryan's
are
best
you're
friend.
like, I really think that the colors and like this is weird, right? Because you're a construct, so
Yeah.
like you shouldn't have any of this knowledge, but for whatever reason, the gods of fashion have smiled on you this day, and you think that like if somebody wanted you to, you could make a fucking fine ass dress
Yeah, I
and like
could.
walk it down the runway.
Can you make Bub's new cut-off pants more fashionable?
You know, Bub, they do need some work.
Do whatever you got to do to make me look
Okay,
good.
give me your clothes.
Nice trim.
Of course you do.
Alright.
I got a 17.
For
For
yours?
nature.
I thought I was rolling for Bub, am I?
Yours. you can
Bub's
use your
just
mending
28,
cantrip and some
so
thread to
not
fix his
much
pants.
older than
Nice.
Yeah, it looks
Awesome.
great.
These will be a lot better for you.
With that nature check, Stephanie,
Put 'em back.
this mushroom, you've probably read about it in books before.
Yeah, makes sense.
But there's two species that look very, very similar and are almost impossible to distinguish without eating.
Yeah.
You know that one is like exactly what Stool said it was. It's like makes you super confident and like helps you not be surprised by enemies. And that the other one,
Not at all what you said.
what
That's one of those, like, morel or the false morel.
It'll poison you.
the other one is like people kind of disagree on its effects. Like a lot of people have eaten it and it you know that it won't kill you, but like it can be traumatic in other ways.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I'm still gonna save this for a rainy day.
Good thinking.
Even if you die, Stool will eat you.
Never said that.
Well, decompose you.
I pop Kimberlite out of the group chat.
Okay.
Mute.
So you guys all have mushrooms. Are you guys gonna go head down?
Yeah,
Like down towards the entrance to like the deepest parts of the Undercity?
I'm okay with that.
Alright. Well, so I'll just start racing then.
I've never seen people like you before. You guys are interesting.
Do you miss
No one
being with
responds.
your mushrooms?
I do miss my family.
Oops.
But
Sorry,
it was
stream.
important that I left.
Do you have a lot of family?
Do they all
Yes.
look like you?
I did.
You did.
You do.
I have offspring.
Oh. Jesus
Many
Christ.
children.
Alright,
I
so.
have 3 offspring.
Do you have a gender?
Oh,
Oh. I can't wait to meet them.
3, did you roll for this?
I'll tell you their names.
if you want to have more, there are more mushrooms that came in the pack. They don't have faces yet.
They could just be the younger ones. That's true. These ones are old enough to have developed faces.
Alright, so.
Todd.
Todd!
Toot.
Is that when you're first born?
Yeah.
I hate
Dude
you.
is the youngest one.
Oh, he came out at the end. It was an accident.
Alright, so you guys managed to progress through the mid part.
Todd, Toot, and Elfie.
If you could see my face right now.
Stick your face under and make your face.
We can see your face.
So you guys progress through the mid belly of the city and like get down to a tunnel that looks really similar to the one that Yizik ran into. That one was farther up and like led off in a different direction, but this one, the path obviously slopes downward, and the tunnel also looks like it was kind of like clawed out by something big.
Was it in my map?
A star.
Yeah, so like this I'm dead. so this is the main and the
So
only
my
like
offspring.
entry point, like exit point out of this part of the like the mid belly of the city.
You said it's a tunnel?
Yeah.
Is it like a cave or is it more tunnel?
It's like a cave that looks like something helped it.
Which one's the green one?
If that makes sense. Like, it was like a natural opening in the rock that something
Would
took
he
out.
know anything about it since he lives in caves? Like,
He would know that this is the way he came in.
Okay.
And we would know based on we read that book.
Yeah, you read the
okay.
book, and so you would know that like I said last time, it kind of corkscrewed downward until it like reaches this one point, and this is the only like main path that's like downward.
Okay.
All right.
So like there are other like side paths that like kind of branch out, but like this one is the main one.
All right. This is it.
And so Stool, you recognize this as the entrance that you came through on your way back up, and you think that you may be able to guide.
I recognize this spot. I came through this.
Does anybody know where we are?
Yes.
We are here.
No one's gonna say anything.
This is the entrance to the lower part of the city.
Hey, you're muted.
It's not just the so like
You kicked me out. That's why I can't hear what you.
I would say, Sarah, I would say that like
Why is everyone doing this?
What the hell is wrong with you guys?
so Sarah, I would say that like not even
It's become very quiet.
the
for
entrance
Kimber.
He starts talking louder just because.
Thaumaturgy.
I would say that like it's not the entrance to the lower part of the city. I would say it's the entrance to the lowest part of the city, and then also like it's almost not even an entrance, it's more like an exit. It's like an exit from the lowest part of the city into like this subterranean like cluster of tunnels and caves. Which is like the true Undercity. So yeah, so Stool, you think that you can guide them, and I'll have you make a survival check and then roll a d12.
I love it.
I got good and bad.
Okay.
Survival is a 20.
Okay.
D12 is a 1.
Okay. All right, so you guys start passing through these tunnels, and so like you're kind of like going along. Stool is guiding you as you go. He's sort of leading in front, and he's telling you like where to step in places that look like they might be like uneven footing and that sort of thing. He's got a pretty good handle on like the directions that you guys need to go in, and you come to sort of an open chamber, and it looks like there are spider webs all over the walls.
We are currently passing through.
Go on.
Spit it out.
The hole.
I hate you.
The sphincter.
Is this considered the bowels of the Undercity?
Yes. I think I have that written somewhere in my notes. So yeah, so you guys pass into this it's like a pretty large chamber.
People are passing.
Can
Wait.
you pass this one?
Oh, wait.
Without a trace.
Hey, would you say these spider webs look flammable?
Yep.
I can touch flammable objects not worn or carried and ignite them.
Okay.
I'm gonna start them all.
Why'd you make it like a butt?
Okay. So
So the first spider web I see, I'm starting on fire.
okay.
The whole cavern is ignited.
I would see.
Wait, that's what you guys.
That's fine. I
That's
don't
what you
accept
guys did
for the
in my
effects of extreme
campaign.
heat.
I would see you do that, and I'm like, oh, cool, okay. And I'm gonna start throwing sacred flame everywhere.
I was. You guys hear like high pitched shrieking and clicking
I was gonna
as you
say,
set the webs on fire. It looked like all of the spiders were asleep, but now they're awake.
I
And
start
so
throwing
And
firebolts.
on fire.
everybody needs
What
to
are we
roll
doing?
initiative.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Everybody needs to roll initiative. You weren't gonna have to because you rolled a 20 on a survival check, but now
Guys,
you got
the fire!
to.
Who did the fire?
Yeah, so
Fire!
Stool probably
Fire!
would have told
Are
you
you
guys.
flammable?
Stool probably would have told you guys to be quiet as you were passing through this area to not wake up the spiders. But I hadn't gotten to that because we were too concerned about the butthole
He
talk.
wasn't
So
in-
now this is the consequence.
He's not in the group text, so he didn't get
I
it.
have no idea. I just saw her like light something on fire.
I just remembered I could.
Yeah, no, I think it
I
makes
just
sense.
remembered I could.
And so I did.
Well, everybody roll initiative.
You're the blackest.
Don't forget you get advantage,
Wait.
Steph.
Alright.
18.
Do you have another couple of these? Grab?
What? Oh, I have the small one.
Well, that didn't
84 of
help
them.
much.
No?
4 and 6.
So
Plus
they're
2. So 8.
Sorry.
It's better than a 6.
I just need like 4. You guys were gonna have to fight 6 if he had failed his roll, but there's only 3 of them alive after you burn the rest of their webs.
There you go. Took him down. Preemptive strike.
Okay, so this is actually a large creature.
The big spider boy.
Does it? Here. That's too big.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Should have one.
This is plenty room.
Okay.
So
Oh, you said there were 4 of them. Okay. I'm not
Yeah,
getting one.
there we go.
Do you want to put them on like a?
yeah, so they're all like 20 feet up, but they're coming down. This
What's
one
the
is
range on calm emotions, Brad?
they don't have emotion.
I
You
need
don't know
we need to allow
Yeah,
this
I do.
suggestion.
that. I cast Fireball.
You don't. You have to roll initiative. Let me go back here behind my DN screen. I was really thinking that you guys were gonna get through the spiders without having to wake them up and fight them. I wasn't planning on there being a combat. All right. So what did everybody get for initiative? Yeah, that's good.
21.
Whatever you want.
17.
He's gonna end up getting one of these curly things.
Oh.
I'm gonna make him one. So
Peregrine.
he probably doesn't need much decoration. And he's
okay.
probably a pretty good size right now.
What about everybody else?
18.
8.
What's your thing
Not
to prevent
10.
combat?
Stool, you got a 10.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
You got a 10 for initiative.
Yes.
Wait, what
Okay.
Kimber got a 2.
Oh.
With your bonus? You didn't
I have no bonus.
Oh, you're a
I
plus
got
0.
no dex.
Did you get initiative on your roll, Steph?
I forgot that.
Yep.
You took it?
Yeah, her 8 was with advantage.
I was distracted by the fire.
What?
I was distracted by the fire.
Oh, you just rolled really bad on initiative?
No, I forgot to give people disadvantage. I gotta do it before.
Oh, okay.
Kimberly, you got a 2.
Oh, to
right?
like stop
Yeah.
them from fighting.
I would
All right, so Lady Peregrine, you first.
Okay.
Actually, I would have gotten normal advantage, but I think I rolled the 13 first.
I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna fling my 5 daggers at that guy.
Okay. That'll be 1.
Oh.
Don't hurt the spiders. Why are we hurting the spiders?
They're going to hurt us.
How do you know that?
They're clicking and like venom is like spraying out of their mouth.
They look awfully hungry.
They're drooling at me.
Things drool.
People drool.
Okay, 25.
That hits.
Right. 26.
That hits.
I talked to the spiders.
22.
That hits.
Kill them.
16.
That hits.
19.
That hits.
Okay.
Nice job.
Sorry, I didn't prepare for this.
What do you need?
A D4. I got one. Maybe it's here. There it is. 3.
20?
Yeah.
Okay. Arvindr?
Well, I guess I will go into a rage. Go and move so that I am standing, hopefully with more than one spider within 10 feet of me, but further than 10 feet away of anyone else. Can I get
40
between those
feet?
two people? Yeah,
What's
40 feet.
your
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
you could come
40.
Yeah.
So am I within 10 feet of the spiders?
Okay.
Yep.
Both
Okay.
take 4.
So I'll go into rage and turn my aura on, and so spider boys are now on fire, and
That'll be 2, the bigger one.
creatures who start their turn. Yeah, so they'll start on fire, and then am I
They
like within
shriek.
touching distance of any of them?
What?
I think it was on that.
He's large.
You're not
right?
close enough to touch them, I don't think.
You're like
Yeah.
Unless, does your weapon have reach?
you
No.
can touch if they're are they large?
They are.
If they're large, you can touch one of them.
I'm gonna
Is it
This-
number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
okay. I'm gonna recklessly attack it.
Okay.
And that is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
So that is 15
With the
slashing
heal the
damage
spiders.
plus 4 rage damage.
How do you kill it? What does it look like?
I guess it would just look like a spray of poisonous goop.
Yeah, so you like smash your axe down and cut it in half, so one is dead.
I can't reach the next one. I mean, I can, but I can't with my. I can make a bonus, or I can make a. Since I killed one, I can make a bonus action.
But you
melee
can't
attack.
reach it.
I
It's not
can't.
within.
But I guess with my second attack, I will take my hand axe and lob it at him just to see what happens.
Okay. Make a ranged attack.
First attack, so it's not a melee attack, so I only get 1, and it's not with strength. So that's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. A D6 that's I can actually get out.
I threw mine all at shadow.
That does 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
And rage
You
damage
first?
doesn't apply to melee attacks, does it?
A range.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It says melee. So it's melee only, so it does not work.
Okay.
No rage damage on spider 2.
Bob, what you got?
Get out of my rib cage.
I will cast firebolt at the nearest one, so the one we're kind of facing. Yeah.
That's 3. Okay. Make a ranged spell attack. Roll a d20 and add whatever. You got your spell attack modifier up there underneath your hand.
What? Oh.
It's like plus 9, I think.
14 plus 9.
14 plus 9? Yeah, it's. So I think it's 3 or 3d10.
Yeah.
You need a couple more d10. Here.
5, 9, 6.
14, 20. Okay. It shrieks. It did not like that. Leonora.
I turn to Stool and I ask if there's anything he can do to stop the fight. Isn't there anything he can do?
Throw mushrooms at them.
You can hold on to him if you're going to use that spell again.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, he might be able to do something. When's Stool going?
He's after the spiders.
Okay.
Oh, I put an
Do you want to hold your turn?
Well, I want to hear his response to my question.
Well, tell me how you interpret.
I can charm them, so that in a peaceful way.
Which thing?
So the third level one.
Guess you better do that fast.
Do you read that as?
This is a long 6 seconds.
I have to be within 5 feet when I use that as a bonus action, or I have to be within 5
plan
feet
on it.
on my next turn when I use the advantage.
I would say
teenage boy. He would have.
you can. I mean, so it's like when you move. So like it's
Probably
because it's your bonus act. You're using your bonus action to do that. So it's like
Yeah.
on your turn if you can move within
Like-
5 feet of them.
Well,
Putting a
so my
magnifying
question is
glass
like,
on
if
it.
I'd use that as a, so I use my movement to get here.
Mm-hmm.
If I'd use that, could I have used that as a bonus action at the end of my turn on, say, this guy, and then my next turn moved within 5 feet of him and gotten the advantage? Or would I have to use it on a turn where I haven't,
I think it's like
like,
you,
I have to be within 5 feet of the one I'm gonna hit on my next turn?
I think. Granted by cutting action to make an acrobatic maneuver. Grant your next melee attack. You can use this bonus action. So I would say it's like a bonus action you can use either before or after your normal action. You don't have to use it in order. So you could just if you move within 5 feet of something, then you can use your bonus action to grant your melee attack for that turn. You see what I'm saying?
I read it as next turn.
It's next
but-
melee attack, and your bonus action you can
Okay.
use whenever.
So-
It's like. So it's basically you saying like instead of using dash, hide, or like whatever the other cunning actions
So
are.
you would interpret that as it has to be on the same turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say because
For
like
which one?
I mean theoretically
It's-
if you forget to use it but you're like and then
I'm just saying, so like,
I see what you're saying.
could
so,
I have used it as my bonus action on this turn and then gotten advantage on my next turn if I went within 5 feet of that?
I mean
person?
next melee attack would imply yes.
Okay.
If you can move within 5 feet, but I'd say that it wouldn't last for longer than a turn.
Okay, but
if
I
you're doing it that way. So
I
like
don't
if you're not
have to
able
be within 5 feet of someone when I use it. I just
Yeah.
have to be on my next melee attack.
Yeah,
Okay.
within 5 feet of them.
So I'm asking Stool whether he can stop this fight. He's taking a really long time to answer,
What are you doing, Brad? What?
and
No,
he
I-
answered,
Oh.
Yeah.
but so I don't want to get eaten in the meantime. So I will do magic missile,
Okay.
and
At
I
what level?
will just first.
Okay.
Because I'm still hopeful that maybe like Stool can stop this fight. So I just want to like push him, keep him away.
Okay.
So I will send 2 darts to this one
Okay.
and 1 dart to this one. What
Okay.
number is this one?
3 and 4.
Probably standing right
4. Okay. So it is 7 to 4
Okay.
and 4 to 3.
Okay. All right, it's the spider's turn. So, it's 3 and 4's turn.
Can I do chaotic dishevelment?
Yeah. That gives your next ability check or attack roll advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or saving throw.
For saving throw.
No, this is not gonna be good.
What'd you roll?
A 2. You shouldn't have moved, Stool. The gravity acting upon you increases, your level of encumbrance increases by 1, and your speed is reduced by 5. However, you have advantage on saving throws against being forcibly moved or attacked or knocked prone.
Wait,
Okay.
You're real heavy now.
Yeah.
Me?
No, me.
Oh.
No, some of these dishevelment things like will affect people around me, but so I like feel like I'm like grounded to the floor. It's
Should
like,
have
whoa.
used this against those moss dogs that kept knocking you over.
Mhm.
This can
Yeah.
only affect me.
No, but
Yeah.
I couldn't have knocked you over. Come on.
Oh, I
Um,
know that's
You
true.
couldn't have been prone, yeah.
I couldn't have.
So 3 and 4 both they like go and like spray webs with their butts at at Leonora and Bob, and they both hit, and you're both restrained. So your speed drops to 0, and attacks are made. Attacks are made
Drop
with
it
advantage
against him.
against you, and you make attacks with disadvantage. Unless
We
they're
kind of look
spells.
like Stool.
You can still cast spells the same way, so it doesn't really matter. But you can't. But neither of you can move. Stool, it's your turn.
I cast 3rd level charm person, so I get all the ones that are alive.
They're not persons.
Oh, it's a humanoid. Dang it. That was my plan.
Charm spiders.
I cast charm spiders.
Do you have charm monster?
No.
Really?
What level is it?
I think it's like 5.
It's not.
It may not be a cleric spell.
No. Okay, so I will cast. Calm emotions.
Okay. On who? The spiders or?
Yes.
Okay. What's the exact language of calm emotions?
Never mind. Those are humanoids. Dang it! I will hold my turn.
Okay. Stool falls out of the order for now. So now it's the other two's turn, and one of them is dead.
Yeah, and the other one takes 4 fire damage because he starts his turn in the fire.
Yes. He is. Which one is that? That's 2. Yeah, so he takes 4 fire damage. He's going to not like you, Arvindr, and he also sprays webs at you.
Okay. Wait, wait, is there a saving throw associated with this or
Nuh-uh,
anything?
it's an attack.
Okay.
You are restrained. So he like sprays it and knocks it on you, and then he kind of chitters and like runs up the wall. A little bit, or he like runs. First of all, he backs away, and then moves like 20 feet towards Kimberlight. Yeah, and then down 1. Yeah. All right, Kimberlight.
Do Arvindr's webs catch on fire?
They will next turn probably. Although that might actually damage him.
If my webs start on fire?
But then they're gone.
No, they burn up. Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're restrained right now, but you, yeah. So you start flying. The ceiling's kind of low in here. It's like 40, 50 feet.
Okay, that's fine. I'm like 30 feet up, and I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt
Okay.
on number
You guys are just mauling these poor defenseless spiders
3.
In their own home.
in their own.
Which
home.
one I guess is. I don't know,
When you
can I
did
tell
not have to.
anything
I'm sorry,
about
but
any of
you
them?
can't expect a teenager who can set things on fire by touching them to not set a spider web on fire.
That's true.
I guess. I don't know.
It's
And I just
it's
thought
like
that was the
field
thing to do.
campers with an axe and trees.
That's fair. They can't help themselves.
They literally can't.
That's true.
We're working with pine cones.
Ranged attack first.
Okay.
You were there that year, right?
Yeah.
When we like got in trouble at Grand Canyon.
So stupid.
What was he doing? Throwing pine cones down in the canyon?
No. He
No.
throws pine cones in a fire.
He like went
20
around
to
and
hit.
collected like
Don't do it.
Walmart bags
and
full
I'll
of
do
pine
this.
cones. Just dump in.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
I'll do 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
You kill him.
11.
That's a- that's
plus
a-
4,
Good roll.
11
Yeah.
plus 7.
Yeah, so what's it look like when your guiding bolt
18.
kills him?
So probably a shower of sparks. I'm assuming guiding
Well,
bolt because it's supposed to have it be like a radiant thing or whatever, and then it's supposed to give advantage on whoever else attacks it next.
So
it's
you
just like-
conjure this like ethereal arrow
Kind of
and
like-
shoot it.
yeah,
Okay.
and it just kind of dies in a shower
Yeah.
of sparks, and then the light fades.
He kind of screeches and then flips over on his back, and his legs curl up, and he starts smoking gently. Okay. Stool, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll cast Sanctuary on Leonora.
Okay. You're last now.
And then that was a bonus action. The other part, I will try to take the webs off of her.
Okay, make a strength check.
$18 to $20.
Yeah, you pull them off. You manage to get your little tendrils around them and like
Can you
rip
put
them
your
off.
feet back on?
I know. Thank
Lady
you.
Peregrine.
So I'm gonna use my fancy bonus action,
Okay.
and then so I guess I have to make an acrobatics.
You have to
check.
you use it and then you have to be within 5 feet of them before you can attack.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
move up, but I have to make an acrobatics check against their AC plus Dex.
Mm-hmm.
So acrobatics is an 18 plus 13.
Yeah, that'll
so
do
that's a
That will do it.
33. Can I add?
No, it's 31.
31. I can't
You
add.
hit.
Okay. I am going to
Sneak attack.
hit it with
Oh.
my rapier, but I do get sneak attack on it.
Okay.
Did a boo.
Nope.
What'd you roll?
A 10.
Yeah. No. With advantage?
Oh no, I forgot about advantage. An 11.
That actually doesn't hit. So you swing the rapier in, and you're like going to poke it, and it's like chitin exoskeleton like absorbs the blow, and it sort of like skitters back a little bit, and then goes
Alas.
and raises its two little legs.
I think you already had some, right?
Alas.
Arvindr.
Advantage and I got a
So I'm
one
covered in
next
web,
to
and I can't move because I'm restrained.
Uh-huh. Well, no, it burns off. So
Okay.
you ignite it.
Web burns. Alright,
Web
move me
burns.
towards the nearest spider, and I'm gonna go chop at it.
Is that big one?
Try to move me in a way that I don't start Lady Peregrine on fire, but
She'll be fine.
she would technically have. She would get
Is
resistance.
it-
It's a 10-foot radius.
Put the X in the middle of the circle.
Put me within 5 feet of the spider.
I mean, she can hit it. That's good.
I hit spider. Spider. 15 plus 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
19 damage.
Nice.
Oh, okay. It's still alive.
Second attack. A 16 to hit.
Yep.
Another 19 damage.
It's dead. How do you kill it?
With my axe.
But like, what does it look like this time? Oh,
And
another
then
overhand
fire.
cleave.
And then all its fuzzes pop.
Okay. Its hair catches on fire and it smells like burning hair. It's horrible. Everyone hates it. Bob.
But not me, because I can breathe in any environment, and I can have advantage on saving throws, which is harmful
don't
gases.
breathe, I just stop breathing.
Bob, it's your turn. Kill that last one.
Getting
Is it
all
just
into
that
my
last
pores.
one?
This guy over here,
Can
yeah.
you deal 28 damage in one hit?
That's a
Probably.
good question.
You
Oh,
should be
but
able
you
to.
can't move.
Oh yeah, he's in.
I
You
can't
are
move,
But
I
he can cast spells.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you can do quicken and cast a spell and a cantrip too if you want.
You just need to
Or
really
you can
ball
pass
your axe
return.
that always does
What?
max
Would you say?
You
damage.
can quicken spell and do a cantrip and a spell.
Spells
Both.
don't hit people in the way, do they?
So I'll just do the.
It depends on the spell.
I'll do firebolt for my cantrip.
Okay.
And
Okay, so make a spell attack. You might kill it. It misses. Alright,
Webs, more webs start on fire.
Use your inspiration.
and then
Can
I'll
you use
just
this
cast.
inspiration?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do have your
Yeah.
Well,
inspiration.
Or does he have to do it first?
Technically, you're supposed to do it first. I
Oh.
don't care though.
Well, I can cast.
I thought you were gonna
Magic
give him
missile.
your inspiration.
Yeah, you could. You could cast
Let
it
me
at a
get my
high
books.
level too
There
if
you
you
go.
wanted.
I'll do a second level magic missile.
Okay,
So then
That's-
that'd be 4,
that's
right?
4d4. Yeah, so here's 2 more
44 plus 4.
plus 4. Yeah, it's the pyramid. Yeah. and mark off your second level spell
The
slot,
Pokey boys.
and also like whatever sorcery points it takes to quicken your spell. I think it's like 3 or 2.
When I cast Sanctuary on you, I guess
3,
I pulled out a
5.
small silver mirror.
9, 10, 11, 12.
What does sanctuary do?
Yeah, what does
Okay,
Sanctuary
so
do?
12 plus 4 is 16.
Basically, if anyone attacks you, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, and if they fail, they attack someone else instead.
Oh. I like my new friend.
Alright.
You have
And
a
I
lot
think
of
that's,
very
I
tall
don't,
friends.
it says how many sorcery points it costs on the second page, I think.
Someone just grew.
What?
So if you go back a couple pages,
You got shorter, he got taller. You guys
There.
okay with this?
there's meta
If
magic
I
options.
hadn't
I think it's like
Specifically
left,
seen
up.
Bug grow, I might start to think he was a changeling.
the quicken spell one. I don't know how
Two
many.
sorcery.
So fascinating.
Yeah, so mark off 2 of them.
It's just so you can like
Leonora.
put it and stab it and not poke yourself, hopefully. So this one's the only one left alive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna
Don't hurt him.
Did I do any damage?
Yeah, you did 16.
I
I
did good.
feel really bad.
You did.
Okay.
Maybe he will run, since all of his friends are dead.
What does that spider look like? Does he
He
look
looks pretty rough.
but does he
He's
look
like,
like angry enough to still like attack me?
no.
He looks afraid.
I mean, you can make a perception check to really determine. Or actually, animal handling.
Okay. Oh, I could do advantage.
Guidance. Is guidance getting
15.
better with the new thing?
Oh,
I think so.
I should have added next
What?
before.
15.
You're pretty sure that given the opportunity, this thing will turn tail and flee.
What's their AC?
That was
14.
very punctual.
I should
I
have.
would have.
So
I
I see that he's very afraid.
Although it would have
And
In as much as
I mean,
spiders
that's
can be
fair.
afraid.
yes, I like put up my hands and I see.
Spider boy.
I don't know that he'll like
You
understand.
have
You can
this
eat his dead
outrageous
friends,
collection
so
of
probably
dice.
I want to communicate that like I'm giving him the opportunity to run.
You can just end your turn.
It's a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
I'll back up 5 feet.
Okay.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you're really
he'll it's his turn now, and he skitters away. He like runs up the wall.
Okay.
You let him go. He's not fast enough to like outrun somebody. It's Kimberlight's turn, so she wanted to kill him as he's running away. She
Wow.
You could like squish
The
him.
sneak attack
or
is
like
a
shoot
bucket
some sort of like
the,
fireball or
lawn
something.
That's what I was
ones.
thinking about doing my
We do have a
cantrip.
bucket of blonde ice.
I love that.
Sneak-
Is that resin? No.
It's stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
I
far
got,
away is
I
it
got
from
a
me?
gem.
I don't know.
A cave.
However far that is.
Cave.
He's like
Good
about to
shot.
run up a wall, so probably not super far.
About 35 feet.
Okay. Do
Don't kill him.
Sacred Flame since I'm not in the group chat anymore.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, make a range spell attack.
I feel like this is gonna be a stressful party for you.
Poor Stool.
No, it
Or
says
dex save.
it's within range, and so it just makes a dex saving throw.
Yeah. 8 fails.
Okay.
That's
So
Three
that's
D-
3d8. So that's 7.
1 second.
3 is 10. And 8. 18.
Yeah, so you can.
I will reduce that
You,
damage
like,
by
you
1.
go-
Wait.
What?
I'm reducing the damage by 1d8.
Okay.
9. Oh, that's.
He rolled a
D10.
D10. It was a 9.
I mean, yeah.
Here we go.
I'm reducing
That
it by
one.
1d8.
Okay, Kat.
9.
That's how powerful.
Alright, alright.
7?
7.
7.
It lives! So, like, you, like, cast your, like, holy flame, and, like, Stool is like, no! And, like, cries out at his gods, and then his gods and your gods, like, go. And then his gods win, and the spider goes, and, like, it looks like 2 of its legs aren't working as it, like, limps up the wall and like into a hole. I hope you guys are fucking happy. These are like level 2
It's better
spiders.
to be alive and in pain and miserable and agony.
Are you gonna fly up to this hole and
There's
squish it?
magical ways to heal people.
Wait,
not
did
good
you
news.
come back in the chat?
Am I back in the chat?
Yeah. Back in the chat. Things can be healed magically.
So you're gonna go up there and heal it now?
On my turn.
You can like
Wait,
we're out of initiative. So
cure wounds. The healing word as it runs away.
I'm gonna go back. Bye, guys. No,
Time's up.
Get out. I'm trapped. Trapped.
So you actually heal the spider?
Yes.
Okay.
We're building up goodwill.
He's
Some of us.
counteracting the rest of us.
Okay. So yeah, you spin that spell slot and heal that spider right up. Oh, you can let me get these back after that long rest. Sorry. And then you just
It gains 9 HP back.
Okay.
Wait, what? You just undid.
He kind of goes. You can hear it up in its hole, but it doesn't come back out.
I'm gonna use my mark of polaris to
But
hover
then he,
to
like,
see if I
started
can
group
see if
chat with
it's
it.
okay.
Yeah, the spider's fine. After you
I
guys
come back
brutally
down.
murdered all of its friends and family, it turns
It's
out
an
that
origin
it's okay.
story. Someone awakened
What?
it.
I almost
Okay.
took awaken.
I'm gonna see
You
if I
guys
can
remind me of
harvest.
Monsanto.
So yeah, so you guys can. There's not really much in here. You see that there's like maybe a few.
We should be quieter and less fire walking through.
I just saw Arvindr set things on fire. I thought that's what we were doing.
I don't know why that happened.
I thought that was the cool thing to do.
The 1-year-old listened to the teenager. That's what happened.
But yeah, so you guys, if you look around in the up in the webs, they're like pretty high above you.
Mm-hmm.
You would be able to reach
I'll
them.
fly
You might
up
be able to
there.
reach some of them. There's like a few, what looks to be like bundles of maybe like people.
I'm pretty tall now.
You know,
I'm pretty tall
if you
now.
cast fly on yourself, then you can.
Yeah, I'd probably go. And I'm also trying to harvest the spider silk.
Can I mend the other
To
broken
make
webs?
clothes out of.
Yeah.
I mean, they're mostly
For
on
your
fire.
unconventional
Pretty much
challenge?
everything.
Yeah, that's
Can you
why
put
I'm
the
also
fire
Kimber's
out?
doing an unconventional challenge.
good.
Trying to get
Are you
silk
harvesting the
Can
webs?
anyone put the
from
fire
the
out?
I can prestidigitate fires, right?
Yeah, so you can put
You
it
have
out.
prestidigitation?
She cleaned her dress.
Yeah,
I cleaned the
that's how
blood
it got
stains.
cleaned.
That's
All
how
the
she
blood
wiped the
stains.
blood
When you
off.
asked, she
I
did
went
say
with
yes, but it
Yeah.
was like not as
Oh.
loud.
I asked and I didn't
Yeah.
hear any yeses.
No,
That's
that's,
how
how
she
your
cleaned the
dress got cleaned,
dress.
and then I mended
And
it.
I
so
and I
it's all
cleaned the
good
blood
now.
stains on the street.
Yeah.
I did this.
I was confused as to how you were
Thank
doing
you.
that without prestidigitation.
But yeah, so
I also want to harvest what I can from the spider corpses.
Okay.
Would you say you're a harvester?
there's not much left of them. They squashed them.
What about
Well, that's what I'm trying
Two of them
Goo
were
is-
two of them were like
Do some
completely
legs.
destroyed. You might be able to get a little bit of their goo, maybe some venom. You'd have to roll a nature
Basic
check to
would've
see what
collected that.
exactly you can get from
Inventory?
the corpses.
Spider
But you can,
goo?
as much silk as like left and
You
that
don't
you
have
can
any
reach that
vials
hasn't been
now.
burned up. You can
Yeah.
have. I'd say you probably get like.
I have muffins though.
Oh wow! You
It's
just
an
said you
8
come
on
back.
nature.
That's true. You do have a
I think
bag
you
of
get like
A basket.
20 yards of like single filament,
Is it
giant
is
spider.
it lined in like
Giant
little
spider
gingham
silk.
fabric,
but you're not sure how you
Like
could turn that into like a
plaid, cute
fiber
little,
that you
like-
could weave with.
checked
20
red
yards.
fabric?
You get
Show you. Spider silk.
Yes.
We're looking at Stool's basket of muffins.
Oh. But yeah, so if you guys go look in those bundles, you could like make some nature checks to see if you can get them open and find
Okay.
stuff.
Bundle. Nature for the bundle.
Yeah.
Um,
To get it like cut it open without like disturbing the contents too much.
15.
You can reach in and you find 10 gold
Okay.
in that one.
I can float up there, but I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do anything besides look.
I'll let you grab stuff.
I don't need to roll.
Make a nature check.
Okay.
Go on your chair. You know.
17.
You find 15 gold and a ring. It looks like a silver with a ring with a pearl on it.
That's pretty, I say as I pull it out.
That's lovely too. You should keep it somewhere safe.
I put it on.
Okay. It's covered in like goop, but okay. All right, fine, good. All right, so are you guys gonna continue downward?
How'd you do that?
I'm
I
just
think
able
so.
to
There's, I mean, so basically this particular entrance was a like it was like a big open chamber in between like two tunnels. So are you guys gonna keep going down?
That's the first thing.
Yeah, it's okay. Enough with the butthole jokes.
How damp is it here?
It's pretty. It's like humid.
It's pretty
Like,
moist.
because it's like it's a cave. It's like a cave system that hasn't been like magically altered like the upper systems are. So yeah. So Stool, make another survival check and roll a d12.
Hopefully I get a 13.
Shadow.
19 out of 4.
Okay. So
Its survival is +2, so 21.
okay. So yeah, you guys come to like basically like a split in the tunnel, and Stool says that you should take the left tunnel and not the right tunnel because he came
Right.
he came through the
Take
right
the left.
he came through the right tunnel on his way up, and he knows that the tunnel itself like shrinks, like not magically but just like the size of the tunnel shrinks, and that like he could barely fit through. He thinks it was like less than half of his height. He had to like crawl and
So
squish
it's
himself.
less that he
Every time
knows
she
we should
lays on
take
the
the
bed,
other one,
it's
and
covered.
more he knows we
The
shouldn't
mattress.
take
Yeah,
that
that's her,
one.
Yeah.
That's her bed.
So cute.
Because one of us decided to grow
She
6
sleeps
inches.
right there.
Well, it's not that you couldn't fit. You just have to squeeze, and
Or
like
curl.
it would be like very uncomfortable. And
not-
I mean, like, so like you could go that way if you want to like disagree with him, but he's basically telling you, like, he doesn't like going through that one because like of how
He's
big he
big.
is. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think we should make him squish.
Okay. Make another survival check and roll a d12.
18 and 11.
18 and 11. Okay, so as you guys take this branching tunnel to the left instead of the right, you sort of, so like similar to like the deep roads, I guess, in Dragon Age, like this tunnel like goes from being looking like it was like naturally formed or like maybe carved out with the help of like some big creature. It sort of like breaks into so like you guys are like walking through this like tunnel that looks like that, and it breaks and turns to the right, and it goes from being like rough hewn to like bricked with like what looks to be like shiny pearlescent material. Like the bricks are made out of like pearls. And you start walking, and it suddenly slopes down, and you see that there's like stairs that lead downward into this big antechamber with what looks like a golden altar with like brilliant blue flames like leading up to it. It's like on a plinth, and the altar itself is like carved in the shape of like a giant bird.
That,
Do a religion check.
Can you
Yeah.
guys make blue fire?
I can actually.
I probably can.
22.
Did you make this blue fire?
For the first time in a long time,
I actually know something about religion.
the Raven Queen speaks to you
Ah.
and says, you hear just like a really, really soft voice in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And you recognize it as like your liege,
Okay.
the Raven Queen. But she basically says, touch nothing. Keep going. And it's like, it's not an order. She like, because the Raven Queen is not the type of god to like order her
No.
clerics around. She would like let you make the choice.
Right.
But she would, with a roll like that, she would say,
Encourage.
touch nothing.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay.
And so everybody can make a perception check. About
Sounds like
after
the kind
that.
of thing that's going to summon a giant red
Nat
lantern.
20. So
you
29.
with a perception check that good and you're like infinite dark vision, and
Mhm.
now that the Raven Queen has spoken to you
All of
specifically,
that.
you see, like looking now, that the bricks aren't made of a pearlescent material, they are literally pearl.
Okay.
And
like my ring.
what?
Is it like the ring that I'm wearing?
Oh fuck no. This is like the most expensive, biggest ass pearls that have like ever existed. Like your ring is like a trinket. These are like somebody enchanted fucking oysters to grow pearls this big and then carve them into bricks, and there's millions of them that are like building up to this altar, which is obviously made of solid gold.
Mhm.
And then like the closer you look and the longer you look, there's like piles of glittering platinum, not gold, but like platinum, like all over the ground here. Like the flames aren't actually flames, they're like sapphires that have been enchanted to look like they're moving. And like it's like just like opulent splendor in a
Yeah.
way that like you've never seen before.
I will relay all of this to the
Yes.
group and say, as enticing as this might be to some of you, I think we should keep moving.
Yes, there's two tunnels on either side of the plinth that looks like sort of like doors that have been like sort of rotted away, like wooden doors. One to the left and one to the right.
This seems like a trap.
Those are the only two exits. There's the way you came in, and then those
and
two are the way
two
forward.
doors on the one on the
Stool,
left,
which
one
way
right.
should we go?
I haven't been this way. Right? I took the other way.
Yeah, you came the other way.
I am unsure.
I roll insight.
You can go investigate them if you want. I mean, the
Yeah,
doors
roll-
are open. They're not.
Can we roll history to see if I know anything about this?
Yeah, sure.
18 on insight.
12.
You were, what were you rolling?
History.
History. You don't know anything about it. You know that it looks very beautiful, and that maybe some of the symbols look familiar and maybe similar to ones that are on the black thing that like is ruling over your home right now, but you're not sure. With an
Alright.
insight of 18,
I get, yeah, or I mean, I guess if I'm gonna investigate, that's a 15. That might be more appropriate. Maybe.
Is it your 7 to 10? Or is that what
Right,
you're...
plus 5.
Oh, okay.
You sort of like stalk forward as rogues tend to do, and you like stick your head in through the right door first, and it just looks like it's another tunnel going downward. And then you stalk over to the left room, and you see that it looks like there's more stuff back here. Like maybe, and like so like down some more like pearl stairs. There's like essentially like a big vault full of like gold coins.
Okay.
So I roll a 5 for investigate, or 7, so I'm way too distracted by the pretty things.
You are.
But I did roll a 17 for history.
Mm.
Is there anything that I've read that I would be reminded of? Like people being responsible for making this?
Yeah,
or
actually,
like the building of the city?
You see some symbols that look similar to the ones that Yizik had all over his flyers.
The Phoenixers were way richer than we knew.
Certainly more stylized, more like, sort of like,
Phoenixers.
more, what's the phrase that I'm looking for? Old, I guess. Like, the style of the art is like ancient looking. It looks like it was carved rather than painted, but like just the symbol, like the religious like heraldry, you would say that like it looks familiar to you because like Yizik has like a weirdly, strangely similar symbol on like his flyers that he hands
So
out.
I just recognize it from the flyers, not from anything older. Okay.
You might see like some symbols that look similar to like some of the churches around town, but nothing that like stands out to you.
So clearly just something related to religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, so there's another vault that's like basically full of stuff.
I got a 14 for insight.
On what?
I think I was going to check the doors too.
Uh-huh.
But can I do like? Can I check to see like if it's enchanted?
Mm-hmm. You can.
Would that be Arcana?
Yeah, make Arcana.
Do I see anything that looks like a crown in the vault?
So just based
21.
on 21 with make a perception check if you want.
19.
Nothing that looks crown shaped. You do see some things that look like they could be armor pieces, like maybe like a suit of armor or something like that, but nothing that like stands out to you as particularly crown like, except for a crown that the bird that's like carved into the altar seems to be wearing.
Is the crown separate?
It's like stylized into like
Okay.
it's like on the bird's head. What'd you roll? 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a 21 Arcana, you get the sense that something very powerful has enchanted this place and warded it against like all kinds of like malicious intent. So like this is like everything from like thievery to like harm, like attacking people in it. Like this place is,
It's like a temple.
yeah, it is like essentially it's been enchanted to like only allow like lawful and good actions while you're in here. Like you think that with a 21 you would probably think that like the retribution would be like for doing something that was not specifically allowed for in here, it would be terrible and swift. Like you're not sure specifically like what the spells are, but you know that there's like something has worked some powerful shit into here, and that you would be better off leaving if you're planning on doing anything bad.
So it's a good thing
I
there's
just shared that
monster
information.
spiders in this space.
I feel like we should continue moving forward.
I'll come out and say, this one's an offering room or a vault. Doesn't go
So-
anywhere.
The other one, down the other door.
Seems that way.
Yeah. So you guys keep going. The tunnel that you've moved through now, like the kind of the pearl bricks, they look like they're like either somebody like the enchantments are no longer like holding as you walk farther into the tunnel. So like the pearl bricks look like some of them have been like pried out and like they kind of like fade away until the tunnel is just sort of like bare grout, and like eventually it kind of works back into like the rough hewn look. And this time you're continuing down, and Stool, if you're not leading anymore because you don't know which way, anybody can make a survival check and roll a D12.
Just
Go
one
for it.
person.
I've got my.
Yeah, whoever is leading. You've been leading so far because you knew which direction you were going. But since they took a different way than which you went last time.
17 on survival.
Okay.
And a 1.
Roll the D12 again.
And a 1.
And
And a 1.
Somebody else roll a D12.
And a 9.
Okay. Okay, so this tunnel, the tunnel that you guys are walking into, actually, like, it starts to slope really steeply down, and then all of a sudden it like stops.
Like there's
Like,
just a wall, or
The
just
wall, there's a
stops
wall
going?
directly in front of you, and the tunnel is kind of sloping down like that, and it gets really, really dark in there. But Kimber, since you're in the lead,
Mhm.
make a perception check.
17 17.
There's a hole in the ground in front of you.
Okay, guys, everybody hold up.
It's about probably like 15 feet wide, but there's like
Do you think Stool could fit?
yeah, he fits. It's like it's 15 feet wide.
He can fall in the hole.
Yeah.
Is there water at the bottom?
There's actually yes rushing water at the bottom. You can hear. You can. Well, it's actually not rushing, but you do. It sounds like there's like dripping.
Does it seem like the
Swirling
water
a
is
little
swirling?
Is it going?
There's like it's like dripping, and there's a ladder that you can see.
There's a plumbing issue.
Okay. I think we have to go down this ladder.
Which order are you going in? It's one at a time.
I'd say Kimber first,
I can,
probably.
yeah.
Because you
I'll
can
go
see
down.
what's down
You can
there.
fly.
I was going to say I might just
Yeah, I was thinking of casting
elevator
fire.
myself down.
I can float down.
Are you just gonna go first?
I'm gonna go first. I will elevator myself down, checking the ladder as I'm descending and
Okay.
mending it as necessary along the way.
Oh.
Okay, make a perception check.
Thanks, Kimber.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
spot all the like the rough
Any
spots in the ladder.
weaknesses
Yeah.
or anything like that. so I'm just
And
like,
yeah, you make it all the way to the bottom, and then it looks like there's a small pool down here, but for the most part, you can just kind of see another tunnel leading off into the darkness.
okay. And I would relay that information up the ladder.
Okay.
Okay, who's next?
How dark is it?
It's pretty dark.
What if you have dark vision?
How
It's
deep
not
do you
that
think the hole is,
Oh.
Kimber?
Actually,
You probably floated down for a solid like 20 seconds. It's pretty deep.
real quick.
It's probably like
actually,
100 feet deep.
I might also then give. Who has the worst eyesight? Probably.
By which you mean who doesn't have dark vision?
Oh wait, actually,
You can share it, right?
I can share it. I just realized that. Yeah, I would give everybody this.
Yeah, okay. Everybody can see. I've
so
just been
everybody-
assuming that everybody has dark vision, frankly.
Yeah, so I've got
I
I've got
don't.
my max range. Well, you do now.
For how long?
For 10 minutes.
Yeah. So you have enough. You guys can all see the ladder. Kimber would say that it's about
Infinite
100.
dark vision for 10 minutes?
Everyone's got like
So I mean, I get double.
dark vision with no maximum range.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, double or infinite dark vision.
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
All right. So who's on the ladder next?
See forever.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yes.
that
I'll go.
ladder looks small for
Oh.
someone my
And
size.
Leonora.
He's repaired it, so you would be able to go on it.
Leonora.
Still like
You have to like push through the
You
hole.
didn't
How much do you weigh?
You weren't as
420.
vigilant as I thought you were going to be this last round. So
Right.
420,
man.
69.
So you can
Nice.
try to be more vigilant.
Nah, it looks like you think it would support. He
Thanks,
thinks it would
Kimber.
support your
I'll
I'm
weight.
try.
giving,
And she's also
I'm gonna
very
give you
heavy.
this blessing again.
So
Okay.
she was
I'll go
flying.
next.
Okay, make a con save.
Can I float down?
You just start to like go down the ladder. You get about 20 feet down, and yeah, make a con save.
14.
Okay, you start to choke, and you fall off the ladder, and you fall 80 feet,
I watched
which is
I wish I had
86.
something fall.
You fall and you land in the pool of water at the bottom, and you take 10, 14, 15, 20, 25. 25 damage. And you're like, you can't breathe. You're asphyxiating.
I kind of want Stool to do that
You want Stool to fall?
and splash into the water.
How deep's the ladder?
It's
Cannonball.
like
Like waiting?
5 feet deep.
Okay.
25, you said?
What?
25?
Yeah, 25 damage.
Can I float down
Mm-mm.
because of my mark?
No, your thing is like lets you float up to like get a bird's eye view, but you can't like slow your fall.
No. I was just gonna.
What if I hold her upside down?
Okay.
Yeah, what if she like dove head first?
No,
I'm like,
I don't know.
so she used it, but like slowly.
No.
Dang it! I knew I should have taken Featherfall.
I'm like
That's okay.
Yeah, you're like,
flailing around in the pool
yeah.
gracefully. But
Yeah, of
like-
course. It's beautiful.
Do like a
What was the
perception
save
or
that you
insight or arcana or something. to see
Yeah,
what
you
this
can make
might
you
be?
can make a perception check.
What if I
To see
cast-
if there's something I can do to. Maybe I have something I can help her with. Nat 20.
You have actually seen this before.
Okay.
You don't
blind.
need to breathe.
Yeah.
And it turns out that actually you've made this mistake before. You have walked into places where the gases have stratified.
Oh.
And, like, you don't need to breathe, so you wouldn't notice, but, like, there's no oxygen down here.
Ah. Okay.
Do you know this?
I think I know this now.
You think that
Yeah.
with a nat 20, you would
So-
think that Lady Peregrine has, what's your constitution modifier?
+2.
I think it's, you can hold your breath for, like, a minute and a half. So you have about a minute and a half before she, like,
Okay.
basically her HP will go to 0 and she'll start making death saving.
I would pick her up and probably with the nat 20 and recognizing this now.
Yeah.
Probably like
Yeah.
zoom her back up the elevator.
Okay.
That is my flight. So
Okay.
yes.
Good.
You form tackle her and go,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lady Peregrine, you get to the top of the shaft and you can start breathing again. You go,
Good shit.
shut off.
I
You got a
start
thing on
fanning
your
you.
tooth. You got it.
My phone's dead.
But yeah, so you guys have like encountered this thing. So I will tell you this: characters can hold their breath for like if they're not already asphyxiating, they can hold their breath for like a number of minutes equal to like their Constitution modifier.
Sorry, I didn't realize that.
It's fine, my dear.
You took quite a fall. You need some health. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not dying.
I'll cast Cure Wounds.
I mean, you don't have to use the spell slot yet.
Clerics have so many spells.
That's true.
I've only used one
And Chris can heal you too.
right now, so I'm gonna say
You can
It's like
do this thing.
heal.
What, the River of Life?
It's
Yeah.
like 8 more
is
healing
a
spells.
cantrip or is it
No, it's he
so-
spends spell slots and then heals 4 times whatever level spell slots he spent.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as good as like cleric spells, but
yeah,
like
but it's something.
yeah for source for like an arcane caster. it's
I
pretty
don't
good.
need to breathe.
As a Dompier?
Yes.
And
That's
Arvindr can breathe in any environment.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he doesn't
I
need to
don't
breathe. So
Do you
like
breathe?
It's just a
You
free
still respire since you don't photosynthesize.
what's you're a plant, right?
But we do.
I,
But it-
I
but
can be
it-
considered a plant. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that it would
So
bother you.
Going down
It's
is like
methane.
the best
Yeah.
way
Okay.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a dead end. So basically your options are go back the way you came and then like go all like retrace your steps all the way back to the tunnel.
Or try and
Yeah.
walk
Or
through
like
it.
try and figure out like how to get through it.
Okay. I
You
have
said
a
it was
question.
methane?
Oh.
It's not. Okay, it's not methane.
No,
You can't
no
burn it.
fire.
If you explode it, it will be very, very bad. I was really afraid, honestly, that somebody was gonna like light a match and like I was gonna have to figure out a way to like calculate explosion damage on all
I
of you
almost-
because you guys are in like a small ass tunnel.
Oh, that's
it's
like
gonna
if
go.
If
Wait.
Kimber
Well,
hadn't given me
but-
dark
Dark
vision, I would
vision
have
to
produced
everybody.
flame on my way down.
Can we
Wait, so-
go in the tiny hut and
Wait, so
I'm curious to
it's
see how you guys figure this
stratified-
out.
Oh, methane is at the bottom.
So basically, it's like the gas. So methane's heavier than air, right? So like it sinks.
Mm-hmm.
And so
It's
basically
oxygen
in
at the
this like
top.
chamber that's down there, yeah, there's like no air.
Okay. So I have prestidigitation,
Mhm.
right? Cantrip. And one of the effects I can create is a small puff of wind. If I spend a spell slot to cast it at a higher level, can I make a wind to mix up the air?
What other spells do you have? I like this idea. I like where you're going with this.
Oh shit.
What?
Yizik had the bag of holding.
Yes, he did.
No.
So you can breathe in that for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can.
Well, never mind.
Did he
I
maybe
think
like
that-
drop it on his way out?
No,
Like we grabbed
he,
it.
of course not. No, he took that and ran.
Wait, what was the thing
What other spells do you have, Stephanie, that might that you could
create
like
a range?
manipulate to do that sort of thing? I mean, if you guys wanted to, you could just hold your breath and see if you could make it through.
Now that Kimber knows, can she detect the
If I
change
know
in
what
composition?
something's going on with it.
Like, is
If I
she
can
not
find
able
the
to tell, or
pockets
did
of
she
air,
just not
or-
notice?
That's an interesting idea. I'd say like if you go back down to investigate, Kimber,
Yeah, I'll go
I'd say
down.
you could make like a perception check.
Okay.
Or like, could she walk the tunnel out and see?
Yeah, well, that's
like,
what
how
I'm saying.
far
Like,
it is back up?
like if,
that's what I was thinking too.
if you can make a perception check to see, the first one is going to be whether or not you can tell the difference between like the gas that's in the tunnel
Okay.
and then like the air,
versus
like normal air.
That's what the perception 16.
Yeah. So when you get down into like the gas layer, you feel your like artificial like because essentially like a warforged, they don't need to breathe because they don't have lungs, but like
Right.
you have been programmed by creatures that do need to breathe, and so
Yeah.
like it's like kind of like
Canary in
hardwired
the-
into your like
Canary in the coal mine
yeah.
kind of situation.
So you like are like doing your normal like respiration exhaust sort of thing,
Okay.
and you realize that like about 20 feet down on the ladder, 15 feet,
Okay.
somewhere in there,
Yeah.
it like
Cuts
it
out.
like it's like heavier almost.
Yeah.
Like you can like
Okay.
feel it in your chest, like when you like go to like go.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
harder. It's
Okay.
more dense.
So
So yeah, you can
I
tell
can
the
figure
difference.
that out. Okay.
I roll for secret door.
For a secret door.
Perception.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
13.
There's no secret door.
I
You
didn't
put
line
you
up.
put your little fungal feelers all over the walls, and you're like
Mycelium.
the mycelium, and there's nothing.
Darn it. I can turn one willing creature into gas.
That would work.
Yeah.
That would work.
I can, but it only works for one.
So
But you could do it again.
we just need you two, right?
It's the two
Can
of
you
them.
turn yourself into gas and maintain someone else's gas?
Oh, can I turn myself into oxygen?
Oh, and then
And
carry.
then just put
and then-
me in the middle. Can you choose the composition of your gas? 78% nitrogen.
You know what?
Does that mean that-
Leonora's a scholar. Yeah, sure. Why not? Make
Does
it.
that mean that
It's
she
something she
becomes
studied.
you? If she's
What?
breathing you in.
You're breathing her in.
You're
You are one.
And breathing out carbon
Nah, I'd
dioxide.
say that like when because of like solids transmuting into gas, like the amount of material that would get breathed in and out is negligible. Because that's matter.
Leonora's
That's how
gonna
matter
come
works.
back missing a limb.
You breathe too
Leonora.
fucking hard, Lady Peregrine.
3 inches shorter.
Yeah. So I'd say Leonora, you can make an Arcana check to
Okay.
see first of all if you can control the composition of your gas. Shut up.
That's going down into the pool.
How close
Into the methane.
Down the
gas
shaft
to
with
stool.
stool.
All of you are disgusting. Make an Arcana check. Make an Arcana check.
You drew a butt, and the next
I
one-
didn't draw a butt. You did.
Look at it! I didn't draw that.
I drew a circle.
And now there's a hole that leads to water.
Hole down in the water
Wait,
with a bunch of
You wanted me to roll
methane.
for Arcana and what else?
Roll Arcana first to see if you can control the composition of
Spray
your
the
gas.
poop
Okay.
parade.
Should I use this? I'll use my inspiration.
Okay.
Because this was also an inspired move.
Yeah, I think so.
So 12. So I need to roll
Oh,
another.
wait,
Can I
wait,
cast
Yeah.
wait,
guidance?
I can't. I was gonna cast guidance. We both
17.
cast guidance.
Plus 6, 23.
You're good.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So-
we can do it at every single thing. We can do double guidance.
We should be
You
doing that.
you like take a deep breath and you like conjure yourself into like a gas that is the normal composition of the atmosphere.
Okay.
Now,
That's what we're saying.
Let's
Make
see what the
a
bonus
nature
thing
check
is.
to make sure that you can like cling to Lady Peregrine in a way to like envelop her so that she can breathe in your
Okay,
beautiful
guys,
oxygen.
bless me.
Yeah, give her guidance.
Yeah, and
Shit.
put guidance on
So you get 2d4 with the
Plus
next
your-
d20 roll.
Yeah.
How long does this gaseous form last?
An hour.
Oh, it's a.
Brad!
What happened?
He gave you the other d4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's not great. Yeah, 5.
Okay,
Do I add, like,
Oh God.
is it for something?
it's nature.
Let me check.
Okay. 7.
So.
Can you capture me in a container
But
or
like
something?
make it like happy gas. Like, it's
And just
Yeah.
suck me out.
I'm gonna.
Leonora's nitrous oxide.
Yeah. No, so I'm gonna say with a 7, since you were able to turn into the right composition, I'm gonna say that like
There's guidance at level 11. If the target rolls a 1 on the d4, the
Oh, yeah.
cantrip does not end.
oh.
That's right.
Until the target either rolls a number higher than 1 or the duration ends.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Okay, so
So
you
you
So the
could
one
roll the
doesn't
1
yeah you re-roll it.
again, so ones don't count.
Nice.
So that's 3, so that's better.
It's not that much better.
so
So
it's
So it's
5,
6
6.
plus 3, 9.
so it's 9 instead of 7.
Okay, yeah. So
I also
I'm-
have the cantrip spare the dying.
Me too.
great.
So if
Okay,
y'all
I mean,
die,
so if I
we can
drop down
spare
to
you.
1,
Can I bless
you can-
myself?
Or
Well,
if
to
I
0,
die,
we
you
can stabilize you.
I-
Not right now.
Dang
carry
it.
you through.
I also
Let
have
me
a
just-
death ward.
Great. No, so I'm gonna say that like with that roll, she's able to
It'll be wobbly.
yeah, it's like wobbly. She's like maintaining focus to like stay around you and give you like this bubble of breathable air, but like it is like kind of wavering and sometimes you're like and you're like kind of
So you guys
choking
are
a little
gonna
bit.
have to be ready to catch her if she
Yeah.
misses.
Well,
round.
I mean,
what we're
why
gonna
doesn't
do is-
Kimber just carry me the whole way?
And
That's
also,
true.
She can fly.
That's true.
yeah.
But I think you have to take 1d6 of damage. You take 4 more damage
Okay.
from like your wheezing and hacking from Leonora not being
Because
able
I
to
can't control
maintain
it.
you. But
I don't do
you
this
don't-
very often.
you don't die, and you also are able to get to the next tunnel.
I do it very gracefully. I'm like a
Repose.
tuberculosis patient. I'm like Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge. It's very.
I got the black lung pop.
Yeah, it probably is more like that.
Yeah, so you guys get to the end of this tunnel, like through this like the chamber full of gas, and you shut up. And you there's
You're
a
wrapped up, yeah.
there's like a
Do we end up in the sewers?
We
No.
find a sign that says
but there
Murphy's
is a
Tunnel.
what's it called? What's that door called?
Oh,
Flusher?
No.
like one of the little like cranky
Yeah.
things.
That's
Yeah,
what's at the end of the
Vault
hallway.
door kind of
No, it's like
Gate
a
valve.
A flow valve.
no, it's like a I always forget what they're called. They're like in submarines.
A hatch.
Close the.
Hatch.
It's not a hatch.
Hatch.
It's,
Oh. What?
it has a specific name.
Hatch sounds right.
Door.
Rectum?
Shut up. I hate you. Go away. Go away.
Kill Brad.
It's called a
Like the ultra ceiling, like
yeah.
vacuum
It's
door.
like yeah. That's because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It looks like really old and rusted, and whoever tries to open it needs to make a strength check.
You
An
must
access door?
No, it's called
Duel's favorite planet is
uh,
Uranus.
That just said plant.
I was laughing too.
I was like, Uranus isn't a plant.
It is if you're
your stool.
That might be. Yeah, it's true. That's fair.
He is a plant.
That is
He's
true.
half plant, half human.
Yeah.
Half plant, half human.
Oh shoot.
How did that happen?
Hybrid nature.
It's called
When a man human loves a female plant.
We have to get going soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost
I don't want to go to school tomorrow. I still have 2 quizzes I gotta make.
Oh, it's so
You
weird.
know.
I gotta work tomorrow.
I
It's
know.
like it's D&D.
Playing on Thursdays.
I know. It's yeah.
Hatch. It's not called a hatch though. What's it called?
The internet says it's a.
It's a hat. Gate valve.
A blast door.
Bulkhead. It's a bulkhead.
Oh.
That's what they're called.
Glad I didn't miss anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
You missed a lot.
You did.
So you guys make it through the end of this tunnel,
Stool
and there's like
half plant, half human.
Guess what
No.
his favorite planet
he's
is?
not half. He's both.
I'm both.
He's both half. He's both plant and human.
Wait, someone fucked a plant.
That's what it means.
That's why he's a big boy?
What? Excuse
It's
me?
a type of tomato plant.
That's true. Are you a tomato?
You are now.
I have
You
a red
said
top.
he was like grown to be like larger than
He
everyone
was,
else.
but no one fucked a plant, Stephanie. What are you talking
I mean,
about?
eventually, somewhere back in.
They grow themselves. They like bud, and then like
So how is he half human?
he's not.
I count
That was
as
a
both.
joke.
I have 2 creature types.
I
Humanoid and
wouldn't
plant.
put it past us, okay?
Us?
Fair.
I think us is just you. Anyway, okay, so you guys get to this bulkhead that's kind of rusted shut, and whoever wants to can make a strength check, and I think we'll cut it there.
That
they can-
I
if
will
you
not
guys
The
be
can
able
bulkhead is only the wall that's dividing it.
It's a hatch.
I think
The
Arvindr
bulkhead
should
builder.
do it.
It's a
What is-
dividing
yeah,
wall
we need
or
to roll
barrier
for
between
Arvindr.
compartments in a ship,
Yes.
aircraft, or vehicle.
Bulkhead door, that's what it's called though.
Yeah. Well, the bulkhead is like the wall, and
Yeah.
it's the door in the wall.
Bulkhead door. It's the one with the
19
wheel.
for Arvindr.
But like all the pictures are like
Bulkhead door. What? That's a cellar door. What are you talking about?
Google hatch.
I googled bulkhead door and that's the images.
Okay. Whatever. That's what it looks like. It doesn't. It literally doesn't matter. Yeah, he's able to open it,
All right.
and you guys
Good
get to
job,
the
Arvindr.
next tunnel. And that's where we'll stop.
Lovely.
Excellent. And I'm assuming there's air on the other side.
Yeah, there is. So
There's-
like when you open
okay.
the door, like the gas is like the methane like rushes out
Oh.
and equalizes.
Okay.
Am I a person
Yeah.
again?
You're still gas.
I mean, it's up
I'm
to
still
you.
being breathed
Gas,
out.
gaseous form lasts a long time.
I
You
know,
can-
like an hour.
something
But it's
like that.
concentration, so I could unconcentrate.
Yeah, you can. You can dismiss it.
Concentrate.
Once I figure out that Lady Peregrine is okay.
Once I'm not dead.
Yes.
I appreciate being not dead.
Appreciate it. too.
Plenty of ways to make sure you're not.
That was fun. I didn't know when I was ever gonna get to use that spell.
I love gaseous form. It's so funny.
Hopefully
You can
we
travel
won't need it
very
again.
fast with that.
Can you travel with that?
Yeah, I think you can.
What's the speed of that?
Gaseous
Do you
What?
just get blown by the wind? Or
No, I
like
think you've got conscious movement or something.
Really?
And it like
In this form, it says method of movement is flying speed of 10 feet.
I thought there was there a different one? I don't know. I know I
There's
heard
one I
it.
use it to travel.
I was gonna say there's a travel form of it where you can like do a whole bunch of people because I know they did it.
Not
in,
this one, apparently.
Cloud
Yeah.
form.
Yeah, or maybe
Something.
something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the one I.
Yeah, that's the one I've heard on Critical Role. I think
It
they did that.
says I can enter and occupy the space of another creature. I can pass through small holes, narrow openings, and even mere cracks. Though it treats liquids as though they were solid.
that gas
substances.
is
That gas,
right through cracks?
getting through all them cracks.
You know, Bye, Twitch.
You didn't guess Stool's favorite planet.
She said Uranus.